All right, everybody, welcome to episode number 59 of Skeptalk Live. I'm your host, Udo, and joining me today, I've got Tom up there in the upper monitor. Tom, how you doing today?
Pretty damn good.
Excellent. That is important, because if you were doing shittily, this would be a bad show.
Probably would be very funny if I were really grumpy.
And a returning champion, Jason. How you doing?
Fucking amazing. I'm really glad to be here, but thank you for my welcome.
Dude, we're glad to have you back. And in the bottom corner, weighing under 200 pounds, there is Travis. I don't know your weight, so I just took a wild speculation, and I'm pretty sure that I'm good. Bad guy MJ, welcome to the stream. 110?
No.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I was gonna say, do I seriously weigh
110?
two? Do I weigh two Travises?
Yeah.
No.
I was all
I'm
shit,
holding
dude.
up to
I
170.
accidentally break things smaller or bigger than you, right? Like, all right. So, got a good episode going on tonight. The title of tonight's show is Firewater Burns, Missing Melania, and a Healthy Dose of Nope. So that does mean that this is the trigger warning that I'm going to give you. There's a story here tonight that you're going to be all like, fuck that. Fuck that.
Oh God, if it involves spiders, I'm gonna kill you.
Maybe again.
Fuck!
Goddamn.
But as it always, remember this is a fair use talk show. Everything that we're covering here is news, so you can't really own news. We're going to commentary on all sorts of things. We're going to provide criticism. We definitely do some parody and news reporting. And if something turns out to be fake news, I've tried to do my best, and we've covered it, and I'll recant it, but it's because some other place got tricked first.
Right.
Pass it the buck.
Bad guy MJ says a nope story, sign me the fuck up. And Twisty Top Hatter says I'll have my nopes ready to go. Excellent. If you'd like to help out the stream, you can always subscribe or donate. But if you don't want to do anything monetarily, there is this handy little link that you can click right here that will create a pre-formatted Twitter message to tell your Twitter followers what you're doing right now, and perhaps they'll come and watch with us. And the more, the merrier, as always. But you guys ready to get into the show?
You know it.
Hell yeah.
Excellent. Tom, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, sorry. I was getting ready to post stuff about Skeptalk to my Facebook.
All right, it's good then. Let's do this.
Sorry.
I fucking love that intro. And I'll never not
So
love
amazing.
that intro.
Right.
Boom, 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 da, da, da.
Exactly. All right, so this is an update to an episode we covered, or an issue we
God.
covered earlier. Tom was here. Travis, were you here for the Canada shit story?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was.
There's more. God help me.
So it looks like Transport Canada is now investigating 2 cases of cars in Kelowna, British Columbia, being struck with suspected human feces falling from the sky.
Expected.
Wait,
Suspected.
human feces?
Yes. Falling out
What
of...
it
the
gonna be?
fuck?
Yeah.
It's not a bird.
They got
No.
Boeing bombed.
Yeah, dude. So the first incident was on May 9th when Susan Allen's car, with its sunroof open, was filled with human feces and covering herself and her son.
Damn, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's
That's
terrible.
some good aim.
What?
And apparently it was dropped at a height that it didn't freeze or anything like that, so it was just all pure liquid nightmare.
Dude. Yeah, there's like no way it's not an airplane.
Right, exactly. Like they're in the middle of an
That's super
intersection
fucked up.
when it landed on them. So
Also, that it was a
Jeez, that's so
sunroof.
What if it's a dragon?
So they were trapped in there with
It
it.
could be a
What
giant
is the
pterodactyl. Where was this at again?
in Canada,
Asking the important questions.
Well, I mean, like, we don't know about any like cold like cold species of like the pterodactyl. I thought they lived in California, but they could be up in Canada too. We gotta like examine all the possibilities here.
Are you trying to say that a pterodactyl shit on a bunch of Canadians?
I'm not saying it's not a possibility. All right.
All right. I'll give you that one. I mean, in the realm of all of infinite possibility, this Berenstein universe could be or Berenstein universe
Right.
could be the one where there's...
Berenstein.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, look at this cryptid written. So I mean, like, who knows?
Exactly. Apparently, 3 days later, a man found a similar mess on his car, which was parked in his driveway. So,
At least he wasn't in it.
Are these the same
Right.
areas of Canada?
yeah, in the same town, actually.
Wow.
Yeah,
Somebody
Yeah,
hates
no.
this fucking town, dude.
right. Well, what I'm thinking is it could be the same plane that just goes back and forth over this town, and it's straight got
Yeah.
like a mechanical failure or something, right? Because as far as I know, this is not something you're supposed to do. They have...
No, it's
Yeah,
not
well,
allowed in the
fuck.
United States.
Yeah.
Any northern country,
Christ.
basically.
Oh yeah, in Canada it's normal. We just shit on each other all the time. Yeah. What's that all about?
If anybody
Was
in the
it
chat
you
is from
two that
Canada,
drove the
just let us
tour
know.
bus and then dumped their fucking waste on a bridge and it went through and landed on a ferry full of people?
I don't know.
Oh.
That
Yeah, dude, that
sounds
was like 10
awesome.
years ago.
There's
Oh,
no
wow.
escape that one.
This is the
If you're in your
YouTube
car,
of
you can just drive
airplanes.
home. If you're on a ferry,
This is
you gotta
probably
sit through the rest of
Bono's
that ferry
plane,
ride.
dude.
Zach, this is still you two causing problems.
Yeah.
Bono's
Fucking
fetish is
Bono.
just shitting on people from afar.
Oh,
Can we check the tour dates of
Bad guy
Bono
MJ
in
says
Canada?
that it was Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, okay, it wasn't. All right. I just love hating Bono. so-
All right. any excuse you can find to shit on Bono's reputation. So- all right. So the Kelowna International Airport says that it has narrowed it down to one of 3 planes that were passing over the area at both times. So
Wow.
we'll get more info on this, but the first time it was like a super sad story. The lady was all like, "It covered everything in my car,"
Yeah.
and like she was like, she had to go to
Oh,
the
man.
doctor because
And
her
her
eye. Yeah. Well, it was like
Oh,
it was
man.
like her older teenage son, like 19 or 20,
Okay.
right? But
Yeah, fuck that kid then.
it's probably his fault. Operation
Yeah,
Dump.
it probably is.
He was like,
Culture-
"Can I have the sunroof down?"
Yeah, he was listening
Exactly.
to you too.
And the Dave Matthews Band flies over.
Yeah, exactly.
Cultural Rogue says Operation Dumpo Drop, which I
Love it.
appreciate.
Nice.
It's great.
Dumpo drop. That's amazing.
All right, our next
So
story.
wait,
Well,
Wait,
go
I
ahead.
just want to get a clarification. So there was multiple planes passing above them at the same time, and one shit on them.
Yep.
They're conspiring for plausible deniability.
Right?
Watch,
No, like-
it was 2 different planes. 2 of the
Right.
3 planes are guilty.
Yeah. What, dude? It'd be terrifying. What if they shit on another plane and it blinded the plane and it crashed?
Or what if it's
Like this
just
would
what
be
if
a
it's,
way worse story.
what if it's the pilot? Like the
Right.
pilot flying different planes, right? So 2 planes
Yeah, yeah.
did this, but it's one pilot pressing the launch shit button.
Pilot to bombardier, launch the package.
I'm not a
Yeah,
bombardier.
right.
I'm a fucking flight attendant.
What if it's back at flight control? I bet that launch shit button is back at flight control.
Oh,
And they're like, there's some dude that's hacking it up, and he's dropping shit on people he don't
Oh,
like.
damn.
He's dropping bombs.
he just does
Enet.
not like this city. Enet down. How's it going? 2 planes, 1 car.
That was fucking amazing.
Perfect.
Oh, shit.
All right, moving on. So this is Greenwich Village, New York. Melania Trump is safe and sound at the White House, so they say, but someone in Manhattan is worried about her whereabouts. East Village resident John Hotch spotted about 10 of these flyers seeking information about the missing First Lady near Washington Square Park on Friday morning. They read, "Have you seen this woman?" And shows a photo of the president's wife and a physical description of her. it also states that she was last seen on May 10th, 2018. And if you have any information about her whereabouts, please contact immediately, the flyers say. And here's the best part, right? So this gives an email address and a phone number and a Twitter account called @MissingMelania, which doesn't show up on any search results on Friday. But if you call the number, where did it say it goes? Let me find where it goes. Where did it go? Okay, yeah, it takes you to a phone line that claims to be Michael Cohen.
Jesus.
And the answering machine says, "Got problems? You've reached Michael Cohen, the fixer. If you need a hush payment made, press 1 or press 1. If press 2 if you need someone threatened with physical violence, or press 3 if you're the president of the United States."
Amazing.
Whoever's behind the poster didn't immediately respond to the email to the address listed or the voicemail left at that awesome number.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Fucking go to ground.
Yeah, that's like, oh shit.
Devilish
That's the easiest way
Oblivion,
to go to
welcome to the
one time.
Illuminati, taking over the world
Hell
one follow at a time. But yeah, so this next story, or wait, not next story, but I'm changing up the format just a little bit. So
Cool.
I'm throwing in fireside chats every couple stories instead of doing a big,
awesome.
big sprint. So we'll have one going on here. Tom, what is your spirit animal?
Dogs.
Dogs?
Dogs.
Just all dogs.
Dogs.
When you
All of them.
When you take your ayahuasca trip, you turn behind you, and then there's all dogs. All of them.
All dogs.
All of them.
Ever.
Every single
All
dog.
dogs.
And they all want belly rubs.
Chat, feel free to answer along. Jason, what do you believe is your spirit animal?
Ricky Gervais.
Amazing.
You almost made me spit up my beer.
Specifically when he's yelling at people who get angry when he says cunt. It's like specific.
Eat It Down says honey badger. Travis, what is your spirit
Nice.
animal?
I actually meditated on this for hours once and got visited by a white lion. I was like in a big grassy field, and like through the grass, he like came, and then I reached up and touched him, and then I was just like, done. It was it. I knew.
Cool.
I know it's really weird, but
That's
white
trippy.
lion,
That's trippy. Ooh.
All right.
isn't it?
I love acid.
Yeah.
No, this is all my hallucinogen trips. Like this was like back
Right.
when I was like, but it was back when I first got into like meditation and like all the different hermetics and shit like that. So I hold some weight in it.
Twisty Top Hatter says, my
Right.
aquatic turtle, Sir Edward Turtlehands. That's the best name.
I may have drunkenly given it that name.
Bad Guy MJ says, my spirit animal is Danny Warsnop. I am unfamiliar. I'll have to look that up. I apologize. Devilish Oblivion says, my spirit animal is a wolf. Eat Down is either asking if you were on shrooms or saying that shrooms is his spirit animal. I'm dressed.
They're not plants.
Right? Devilish Oblivion says Timberwolf, to be exact. And I think that my spirit animal is the internet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So what part
That's
of you then is
terrifying.
goatsy?
Oh, I mean, it's
The
obvious,
deepest
right?
part of his soul.
That's the part I show everyone. Dude, I used to, back in the days of MySpace, I like once a week would post something like I would Photoshop up an image that said, don't click this. And don't click this in any way. This is your fault if you click this, right?
I fucking hate you so much.
was it just
How do you
goatsy
not
every
click
time?
on that?
Every time.
How do you not? There's no way Udo posts something and says, don't click on this, that I don't like. That's not even an option.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
It was Goatsy or it was
Tub
Sour
Girl.
Math, Tub Girl, Meat Spin. right? Like
Yeah.
all the
When-
greatest, the classics.
Or the ending to a movie you haven't seen.
right,
No,
exactly.
either of those.
When I was in undergrad, I once knocked a man out of his chair with the power of goatsy.
Wow.
It was really popular in my friend group, or not popular, but we
Right.
were all trying to goatsy each other all the fucking time. So a friend of mine gets up to goes, oh yeah,
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
a buddy of mine gets up to go use the bathroom, and he comes back and is of course expecting his monitor's off. He's gonna boot it up to goatsy. No, it was just MATLAB, because I had hidden the goatsy behind the MATLAB. And fucking, he's typing away working, and then turns to ask my friend Jim a question about some piece of code. And while he was turned to the left, I reached over and alt-tabbed his computer back to goatsy, and it was just MATLAB, goatsy!
and
fucking-
he's all shit.
And he literally flopped out of his chair.
When I was introduced to Tub Girl was through it was the hardest phone call of my life. I was doing tech support for a antivirus company, right? And somebody had gotten just the most hilarious malicious worm that would just keep setting this guy's background to Tub Girl. It was so funny. I had to be.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm like, I had to constantly just keep my finger on the mute button for every time that I would just snicker, like drool laughing as the shit was happening.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
All right. Bad Guy MJ says Lemon Party was a classic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Lemon Party and Sour Math were definitely the two.
I've never seen Sour Math.
It's like the best.
Google.
Yep, you're warned.
I-
Do incognito mode, my friend.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so let's move on to the next story here. All right, so the
What the fuck?
The fucking music.
right.
Sorry.
Yeah, dude, Sour Math is banned. The best part is that I used to print up flyers that said, "Is geometry got you down? Are you sour on math?" Right? Visit.
Oh my
Do
God.
you need some help? Free help at visitsourmath.com.
You monster.
All right. So the special World Cup themed soccer ball bottles in Russia have proven to be the perfect shape to start fires.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's rounded, filled with water, and acts like a magnifying lens, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Travis, do you want one of these? Uh-oh. Did we lose Travis?
Travis, I think you're muted.
Oh no.
Rip.
He says yes.
Excellent. All right. So Russian supermarket chains Ashan and Lenta have had to pull.
Yeah, you're muted, Travis.
Yeah. They've had to pull.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've had to pull these ball-shaped Savatoy Ishnovik Holy Spring water bottles after they had reported that they had caused fires.
Can I still buy one from the company then?
Probably. I bet
hope.
these are on eBay.
Also, you said balls.
Exactly. And here's the video, dude. So,
Yes.
like, these are pretty, like, terribly inefficient looking water bottles. They feel like they would be awful to carry around. But, so, I mean, they're just going to show that it starts to do some shit. But here's the real part. Let me get to the real part. Up here. This guy's literally just got it sitting in the sun and it's catching his house on fire as you look at it. You don't.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you don't
It's
even have to
like
try.
concentrated, dude.
Yeah.
I love that he's not even stopping it. He's just letting it smolder.
Wow.
It is Russia.
Right. It'll be the
It's
first
like,
time
fuck it.
his house has
Damage
had
is
heat.
done. I also feel like he's just like,
Is that
fuck
a
it, the floor's
snake
already burned.
killing
Who
an
cares?
elephant?
Yeah, it looks like
Uh-huh.
it.
Okay, we gotta watch that at some point because that's terrifying.
It says baby elephant
now.
rescued, viewed with Alan Tours. So that's what you need to research when you get there. I'm always so worried about what is gonna show up on my fucking recommended
It
shit
just
here.
pops up anime
It's just
porn.
gonna be a giant penis and get us.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So this goes out to Twisty Top Hatter. I promise that I don't go searching for these stories.
Liar.
they just show up on the feeds. But this is a 75-year-old British man has been handed an 8-week suspended sentence after he pleaded guilty to the strangest crime I have ever heard of. So, he took a homemade pump and then took it to his old best friend's house and sprayed his own excrement into the home of his former friend. So, and it's not even just a little. What was that?
Did he like save it up?
Yeah. So what was that? What was that, Jason?
I was like, that's one way to get it done, I guess.
Right, exactly. So he was accused of defecating in a container for a period of between 6 to 8 weeks, collecting his feces to use in the attack.
Holy shit.
Mick Hunger Game Investor, welcome to the show. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the Illuminati, taking over the world one follow at a time.
Also, that dude is surprisingly good looking for 70 fucking, like, that dude looks like he's like 50. I would legit peg him at like mid 50s, not 70 freaking 5.
Yeah, exactly.
What would I have to Google to get some pictures on this one? Because I really want to see the damage.
I guess it would be man uses homemade pump to spray poop. That's what I would.
Okay.
That's what I would Google.
Okay.
Pretty good.
So he gathered up his ammunition for 6 to 8 weeks. Then he used then he fashioned a homemade pump, drove 200 miles to the residence of his former friend, and then he used that pump to spray it through the letterbox slot in the door of the property.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's in the pictures it shows him walking up to the thing. And then, like inside of the house.
God.
Not that bad, but wow. Wow.
I got very different results. First result I got was man lets another man shit on his chest for $300, and I was just like, I'm done.
Good deal.
I'm done.
I definitely saw that coming. And you're like, I want to Google this. I was like, that's not gonna end well.
God bless incognito.
MC Hunger Game Investor.
Totally full of poop.
Mr. MC Hunger Game Investor says that I'm being stalked by the occult. Why? And I mean, well, what did you do? You obviously know what you did.
Yeah, you know what you did, buddy.
Don't fuck with those witches.
Yeah.
Right.
Nuh-uh.
So the
we don't just start following. I mean, they don't just start following people.
Exactly. The cult was told that the damage from the pump caused a cleaning bill of over £4,000 when it was discovered the following day. So it had time to set in, which is the worst.
Oh.
I love it.
The judge involved described this case as the worst offense he had dealt with in over 30 years of the job.
Was there any stated motive?
Yeah, I'm curious about that actually.
That's like, why did this dude do this? Like, I don't know. Bad guy MJ was saying, what did this guy do? Fuck his wife and kill his puppy? And like, okay, yeah, I can see that. But like, what did he do?
Right.
It's probably business.
Like 2 months of saving your own shit and building a homemade shit super soaker. Like,
right.
Well, I mean, look at how that guy
is a shit super soaker.
It looks like
a shitter soaker.
But he probably makes money. He probably does business. I'm guessing that they had some kind of business thing.
Oh.
Probably got screwed over really hard.
Yeah, possibly. Right. I mean, it doesn't really say why he did it. It just says that he did do it.
Wow, you got a lot out of this picture. What kind of business does he do? I bet he owns a fucking car wash, dude.
Oh
It
wow.
is some service
Look
where
at
he
that
charges you
jacket.
too much money for it.
Yeah, he's a
That's a
car
car
wash guy.
wash jacket.
They both had they were investing in the car wash to cover up their meth business and
Exactly what I was saying.
yeah.
I found the information. This isn't feuding neighbors though. Jeffrey's
Practical
dog, blah blah blah.
Practical
75
Surrealist
prolific
asks-
species.
Oh, go ahead.
But had contributed to the breakup, his marriage, and ruined his life.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh,
Fucked his wife.
Yeah.
Yep. Practical Surrealist says if he pleaded not guilty, would the court have to test the shit to prove it's his? And yeah, but I think they have video evidence that proves it.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm thinking if there was meth involved, this dude isn't Walter White, he's Walter Brown.
That's funny.
I'm sorry, I love trashy jokes.
All right.
So do we.
So here's our next one. Jason, if bands traded like sports teams, who would your first draft pick be and for what band?
Okay. Like, I get to choose like a singer or a guitarist or a drummer or something like
Right,
that.
to put into some band. So like all the songs stay, right, with the
Oh,
band?
I already know, bro.
Okay.
Rebecca Black.
Into Insane Clown Posse.
Insane Clown. That's fucking brilliant. Happening.
All right, Travis.
I love it.
If bands traded, who's your first draft pick, and what is the band that person in the first draft goes to?
So like, I pick somebody out of one band and put them in another band.
Yeah, pretty much. Bad Guy MJ
Oh.
says Papa Emeritus III for Blue Oyster Cult.
Okay, I thought that I just pick somebody into my band. Let Tom go first, and then I'll go because I didn't have the second half. of that
Practical
yet.
Surrealist says Eddie Vedder into Nickelback. All right, Tom, what do you think?
I'd go with I think I'd go with Zed. He does EDM into
Right.
Anamanaguchi is a chiptune band I really like.
Oh my
Excellent.
god, that'd be so fucking good.
Yeah, I think it really would be. Like if you added some of Zed's fucking dope beats and his awesome producing into Anamanaguchi's fucking fantastic chiptune stuff.
Yep. I'm gonna say Jack Black from Tenacious D into fucking Slipknot.
Huh.
That'd be awesome.
I might actually listen to Slipknot after that.
Exactly.
So my thought was to pull Geddy Lee out of Rush for his like he has the bass, the guitar, or the bass, the keyboards, and the singing. But I really like where he was taking it with the EDM.
Yeah.
So like if you just pulled that into that whole conglomeration between Amadabaguchi and Zed, and just put Geddy Lee in there and just let him play some bass lines and sing, it'd be beautiful.
I could also go for if you put him into if you ever listen to him, the Proto Men. It's a band that does like a rock metal band that does shit that's entirely based off the storyline of Mega Man, and it's fucking awesome.
Ooh, that's an interesting trope.
Right.
Yeah, I'll link them.
Twisty Top Hatter says Chris Cornell into Nine Inch Nails. Enet Down says Frank Zappa into the Backstreet Boys. Andrew Wilson says
Nice.
insert Norwegian black metal band member into Baby Metal just to watch the pain. Practical Surrealist says Kurt Cobain into the Grateful Dead.
Why? How could it get more overrated?
Right. Oh shit.
God. Savage.
Right. Okay. So, this next one is titled "Get Out," and it's our first interaction news story of the day. You and your roommate are not getting along. Oh, for those of you who are just joining us, an interaction news story, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a prompt and then some options, and you guys pick which option is really the answer. So you and your roommate are not getting along. According to the next story, what is the way to get that across? To get that point across to your roommate?
Order chicken.
Order chicken. Is it fire? Is it sleeping with his mom? Is it selling his car? Is it framing him for murder?
Okay,
Is it a sword battle? Or is it move the house when he's at work?
I'm going 6.
Okay, we got one for 6. Go
I'm
ahead.
torn between 2 and 6.
All right. Angry Cicada says 2. Sleep with his mom.
I'll go with 2. Yeah.
I think that 1 or 5, because like if you lit a fire, then you don't have to fight it together, and then it like band you together, and then your old petty problems, nothing.
Twisted
Yeah.
Top Batter says I want 5, but probably 2. Devish Oblivion says 1. Bad guy MJ
Speaking
says
of
2.
fucking roommates, like,
Apparently, we've got a lot of motherfuckers in chat.
Exactly. All right.
sword fight.
Sword fight would work. You just, you know, he would show up and be all like, only one of us is staying in this apartment.
The toilet seat is staying up, motherfucker.
Nice.
2.
So-
2.
A fairy village man was jailed on an arson charge Sunday
Fuck.
after troubles with his roommate flared into a potentially life-threatening incident. James R. Griffin, 52 of 107 Stanford Street. These are not the guys, by the way. This is a stock fucking image, but
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
What? He was arrested.
Tyler and Greg fought? What?
Exactly. They were arrested. He was arrested after police and firefighters were called to investigate a report of a kitchen fire at his home at 8:20 p.m. He lit a small fire on the kitchen table in an effort to force his roommate to move out. I mean, doesn't
What the
make
fuck?
all the sense, but
Right?
It works.
What a moron.
there was minor
He's
damage. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sir.
No, go ahead.
He's like, I can breathe smoke. The smoke will get him out.
Right. There was a
You're just
minor
gonna burn
damage.
your house down.
There was minor damage to the table, the cabinet, and the floor. And an unnamed witness reported that the incident was, as it was happening, Griffin's roommate, Michael Wedge, was awakened by the commotion and fled the single-family house unharmed.
He's
JMG 2014, thank you very much for joining. Welcome to the Illuminati, taking over the world one follow at a time. Hell yeah, that's pretty good. I like adding that. If you want to take care of that from now on, I'm not going to be mad. Shit, there we go. All right. My story, wander around. Griffin was being held on a $1,000 bail at the Cumberland County Jail after being arraigned Monday afternoon in Cumberland County Jail.
nice.
Somebody cheering?
Yep. It's just taking forever for Streamlabs to tell me who it was because
Hell yeah.
it's the fastest. Twisty Top Hatter, thank you very much for that. But yeah, okay. Good job, everybody who picked number 1. You guys know how that works. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering what that applause was for, you are earning Illumies as you watch the show, and in the lower right-hand corner of the screen, there is a button that you can use to redeem those to affect the stream if you want to. Pants404, thank you very much for that one.
You're welcome.
All right. This is not the Nope story. I accidentally left the word Nope on this. But so it's not here yet. We're not there yet.
Okay.
The Nope story is still coming. But this is kind of Nopey. A gardener was stunned to discover a human skull while digging up potatoes, and he was left floored when his wife calmly admitted to him that it was her first husband.
Oh, fair.
The 52-year-old from the Siberian town of Luzino found the human bones and a skull and immediately told his 60-year-old wife. According to the Russian media, she told him, "Don't worry, that's just my first husband. Bury the remains again and forget about it, and we won't tell the police."
What?
the
Exactly.
fuck?
He told officers anyway, and the unidentified woman confessed to killing him, the Russian cops said. The killer claims that her first husband came home drunk in 1997 and began hitting her. So he says that she grabbed an axe and hit him in the head. When she discovered he was dead, she sliced up his body and buried the parts in the garden, where they sat undisturbed for 21 years.
God damn.
Well,
Right.
fuck that guy then.
When
Yeah,
neighbors
became-
asked what happened, well, I mean, yes, I get it, but murder is, I mean, you
I
could
don't
just
think
be all
she
like,
meant.
he was hitting me, and then I hit him with the axe, and then they'd be all like, good job. You did it, right? It's the hiding the body part that was the mistake, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. That's a little bit. Yeah.
in your garden, right? And then knowingly marrying someone who's a gardener, and then he's going out and he's in the garden digging around,
Yeah.
right? And you're just all like, nah, it should be fine, right? The police spokesman said that although that is just her side of the story, when when neighbors asked what had happened when the man disappeared, she said that he had left for work and simply never came back. The police spokesman said it is possible that by planting potatoes, this man saved his own life, because
Yeah.
who knows if he actually started hitting her, right?
Yeah. Seriously.
Yeah. Enid says, well, in fairness, if we don't know, or in fairness to her, we don't know if it is culturally acceptable to kill abusive husbands. Correct. Yeah, it's true. Andrew Wilson says, of course, this is Russia, the Florida of Asia.
I like that. I saw that.
Russia's the Florida of the world.
That's
Right,
fucking
exactly.
amazing.
Gives digging up some dirt a new meaning, says Cultural Rogue. Right.
That's...
I don't have skeletons in my closet. I keep those in the garden. All right. Our next random question for everybody in the chat and everybody on the screen here is going to start with Travis. Tell us a story you have about being stalked or stalking someone.
I won't tell my stories of stalking other people, but I will tell one of me being stalked. So I work at the 7-Eleven, and there's this crazy twat that comes through all the time that is crazy forward with me.
Right.
Like, oh my God. So one night I'm like skateboarding home, right? And I see him like across the road, right? I'm like stopping my phone, turning on song, and I see him across the road walk onto my side of the street up ahead of me and then like go into a dark patch. I was like,
Excellent.
So I like shift into the bike lane, right? And I'm like skateboarding by. He comes out of the dark patch and is running next to me for like a good like 20 feet, right? And he's like, hey, Travis, you go down. Where you going? Can I come home? And I'm like, bye, Woody. And just like shift into maximum overdrive on my skateboard.
I'm going the fuck home or I'm not going to get knifed.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm fucking out of there, dude. And just leave him in the dust. But I've never been like
Engage the nope
stalked.
thrusters.
Yes,
Right?
yes, dude. It was crazy how fast I was. Oh my God. Like, yeah.
All right, Tom. Tom, you ever been stalked or stalked someone?
No.
All right.
I mean, the best I got is if I'm out late at night and I've got a hoodie on, if I throw my hood up and kind of like drop my shoulders a little bit into like a more aggressive posture, people nope the fuck across the street if I'm walking towards them.
Nice.
Jason, you ever been stalked? Do you have a stalker story?
I have no stalker stories. The closest thing to a stalker I've ever had is getting jumped once.
Right.
But, you know, they weren't stalking me. They just actually had to sit there and wait.
I do have one story about being stalked that immediately pops to mind. And that is back at the old party house, right?
Yeah.
During the period of my life I call the Great Binge. And that was probably
Nice.
about 8 months of being drunk, just straight, right? I maintained a job and an apartment and everything, but I was irresponsible as fuck, right? And there were like times that I was like, oh shit, it's like 5 a.m. I'd better go sleep on my desk at work so that I'm there on time. Right. So anyway, met this girl. I was fucking real shitty drunk, and I hung out with her at the bar all night. And we went back to my place, and I passed out and like wasn't doing anything about anything. Right. She slept on the couch actually, in the front room of the big party house. And then, like, in the morning, I woke up and realized that she was actually very dumb, right? Like, not very just not very smart at all. I was not able to handle it. And then so I kind of blew her off, and then she kept coming around for like a couple of days, and then at one point I'm just all like, listen, you're pretty dumb. And I was pretty forward at that time. And I was like, I don't know if I can, this isn't going to go anywhere. And she was very mad about it. The next day, my buddies wake me up, dude, and they're all like, you got to come out to the front yard right now. And the front yard is all bark mulch, right? She had burned a heart into the bark mulch in our front yard, like a 4-foot wide heart.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it was absolutely spooky. I stayed at a couple buddies' houses for the next couple of days, and I guess she came back around like 4 or 5 times. And my roommate said that I moved away for college, and then she never came back.
Well, she's dumb enough to fall for that. Holy shit.
Dad says I really missed out, apparently. Practical Surrealist says you shouldn't talk about me like that. Ingrid Cicada says I never left. Right. Totally different person.
I considered making that joke, but then I was like, well, that'd be kind of an asshole thing to say.
But then she made it for you, so you don't even have to worry about it. All right, here it comes. This is your warning. The Nope story cometh.
All right, I'm out. Bye, guys.
All right, so this is an interaction news story. You're gonna get this picture. Is it nope, 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 or nope, or all of the above?
Yes.
It's 3.
Andrew Wilson says calling it now menstrual blood. Enet Down says leech. Bad guy MJ says blood clot. So far 2 people are correct.
God damn it.
So a backpacker found a 3-inch.
Is it a menstrual leech?
No, almost. It's a right.
You said 2 people were correct.
Right, exactly. A backpacker found a 3-inch, that's a 7.5 centimeter leech that had been living up her nose for a month after a trip to Southeast Asia.
How the fuck would you not notice?
That's what I was like. What the fuck?
And you're just like, oh hey, there's a fucking 4-inch bug in my hand. How funny fucking that?
It's like, oh yeah, your nose is just really stuffy.
Right, exactly.
Oh my god.
Daniela Liviarana, 24 from Edinburgh, had been having nosebleeds for weeks, but put them down to a burst blood vessel that she had suffered from a motorbike crash in her past. Miss Liverani was having a shower last Thursday when she realized that the dark shape wriggling in her nose was actually an animal. Hospital staff had used forceps and tweezers to remove the parasite. Miss Liverani believes that she picked up the leech in Vietnam or Cambodia, but even when she felt it moving up and down her nostril, she thought it was a blood clot.
What? What a moron.
Right?
That's all I got. What a fucking moron. Like, oh yeah, my nose is clearly wriggling around of its own accord. What in the fuck?
Yeah, Ina Down asks if that's a picture of the leech in question, and the answer is yes.
Oh my god, that's
Her nose was basically the asteroid in fucking Star Wars with a monster living inside it. And probably tried to eat all the food she put in her mouth. She's a fucking idiot.
Like the thing just reached out.
Travis, did you know?
I don't like it. I don't like
exactly.
it. I don't like it. That's not where it goes.
She said,
it's homeopath.
Right. Exactly. She said, obviously my nasal passages would open up because of the steam and the heat from the shower, and it would come out quite far, about as far as my lip. So I could kind of see it out of the corner of my eye, but I still didn't think it was a worm because it looked like a blood clot.
What a dumb fuck.
Exactly. On Thursday, I jumped out of the shower and unsteamed the mirror and had a proper good look, and I could see the little ridges on him. And so, okay, so here's the worst part. They ended up, when they removed it, the doctor had her take it home for some reason, and they named it. This story gets fucked up, right? Like,
Wait, what did they name it?
I'm looking for that here real quick.
Come on, Larry.
Mr. Curly.
That's even better.
The doctors did a great job. Hats off to them, because obviously they don't see something like that every day. They did what they could in a strange situation while trying to keep their cool. They took the
In other
home
news,
for the
she's
night.
also allergic to gluten.
However, Mr. Curly did not live to see another day. This is the weirdest part to me, right? They don't have any like answers to this. He's in Edinburgh's city council's bin now. She threw it away in the city council's bin, which I don't understand why the fuck you would take it all the way there, right?
Yeah.
Also, she said that she boiled him first.
What the fuck?
Right. I think that this is a crazy person, as Eat Down is discovering.
Yeah. Yo,
Oh,
this is legit how, like, isn't this the beginning of Darkman? Like,
Right.
You're gonna create a monster, lady.
I moved off of that screen for everyone's mental safety.
Thank God.
Andrew Wilson
Yeah,
says,
like,
does
I would
anyone
clear
else's
my-
nose sort of tickle now? Right?
No, I was just
Andy,
gonna say it's too
motherfucker.
late, Udo. We all have leeches inside our noses already. Don't worry.
Exactly. Everybody get in the shower so you can check. All right. So this guy, this is one of our first like criminal stories where it's obviously a picture of somebody being arrested. Where I'm all like,
He's happy as
yeah,
fuck.
this
though.
guy's happy as shit. This guy
He's
is
either wasted or a criminal mastermind, dude.
We'll
Like,
go-
I'm not sure which.
We'll go with the second one. So, a man from Illinois was arrested for getting $224,000 worth of manure dumped on his former employer's property, only 2 weeks after he won a $125 million lottery and quit his job.
Yes. Holy shit.
Amazing. That is so good.
Oh my God.
He dropped $224,000 worth of poop on his old boss's lawn because he won the lottery. This is the face of a man who is purely pleased with everything that has happened to him.
I feel like the cops were high-fiving him.
Right? 54-year-old Brian Morris from the small town of Clarendon Hills in DuPage County.
Alright, that definitely deserves applause.
Right. Twisty Top Hatter, thank you very much for that applause. From the small town of Clarendon in DuPage County, bought over 20,000 tons of manure.
Holy shit, that's a lot of shit.
Just too much. But anyway, then he had it asked to be dumped on his former boss's property, pretending it was his residence. Dozens of trucks filled with manure showed up in front of the house at around 6 o'clock this morning and began dumping their smelly cargo all over the property's lawn. I don't know if it's actually this morning, but that's what the article says, right? George Fitzgerald, Mr. Morris's former employee, was awakened by the sound of vehicles on his property and rapidly called the police. Unfortunately, it took the police more than 15 minutes to arrive, which means over 10,000 tons of manure had already been dumped in the meantime.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
This is a really, really shit-filled episode.
Right, exactly. So he was standing right across the street and laughing his ass off when the police arrived.
Right.
And he rapidly came over to confess his responsibility and explain his motivations. Lieutenant Frank Myers, a spokesperson of the Clarendon Hills Police Department, met the press a few hours later to explain the motivations behind the strange crime. The accused told us that he'd worked for the victim for 17 years and was treated like shit, so he said he had to endure his mistreatment because he just needed the money. But now that he has won $125 million, it was time for revenge. The police department admitted that this was that its response time was inadequate and said it would keep a close eye on Mr. Morris to avoid any other incidents. Brian Morris. Ramo, thank you very much for 100 biddies.
Oh, shit.
I love that song. I'm in
Um,
love with the shoe.
Hi, Ramo.
Exactly. What up, my glip glops? Rambo says.
Nice. What up, Ramo?
When asked by organizers what he would do with the money, he simply answered, "Just read the news, you'll see." He was freed on bail a few hours after his arrest, but he told the reporters
Amazing.
to stay alert because he had a few other pranks to pull over the next few weeks.
That's
I look
fucking
forward to seeing this
fantastic.
man on the show again in the future.
Exactly.
Yes.
Dude, let's get
Can
him
I
on the
change
show.
my
Fuck.
spirit animal?
Yeah, dude, I'll actually
Right.
see if I can get a hold of Mr. Brian Morris.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I've after running this show for 59 episodes now, I've kind of gained like all of the courage to just reach out to fucking anybody.
Nice. Right.
I've reached out to cops. There was a guy who tried to take down psychics. We had a local story here. I haven't covered it yet because I'm still going into it, where a disabled man was kicked out of Cinemark because he was too happy on his birthday.
Question on that real quick, Uno. Did you actually make that call yet?
I did, but I got redirected to corporate.
Ooh.
So I mean, they're aware of it. Corporate didn't do anything. The corporate is not at fault, right? This is the owner of the Cinemark in this area. That's the problem, and that's who I want to talk to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, corporate's they just gave me a line, right? But yeah. And I mean, it's not their fault. None of them did any of that, but we did in fact go to the new theater. So for those of you who are wondering what the fuck we're talking about, local branch of the Cinemark theaters here in the town that we're in got a complaint by another person that the disabled man on his birthday was making too much noise during the viewing of the show. And
Deadpool.
right, of Deadpool 2, right?
Robble, how dare you be happy?
Right, and people I know who are very close to that person actually say how loud he gets when he is, excited. And when we're saying disabled, I mean very disabled, right? This is a person that people take care of, right? He makes some noises and he wiggles a bit in his chair when he's super happy, but apparently that pissed somebody off. So the cinema kicked him out on his birthday.
Yeah, that was a bad call by a manager.
Real bad call.
I'm hiring.
Yep. So another local place in town, a much smaller theater, the Broadway, Jason.
What's that?
You're familiar with the Broadway? The little theater in downtown?
Oh, right. Yeah.
They gave him a private screening with 30 free tickets, free food, free
That's
popcorn,
amazing.
and fucking drinks. So those dudes
That's fucking
I saw that
snatched
event.
that, right? And they got huge into the big the viral share.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I forgot how we got on this conversation. Oh yeah,
Reaching out as
I didn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach out to Brian Morris because I reached out to like fucking 50 people during that story. I spoke with Rick Dancer. I fucking talked to the person who takes care of the person who was affected. I tried to talk to the people who run the theater. I'm gonna get a hold of this Brian Morris guy, and I ain't scared. I was though for months. Every time I'm like, I could talk to that guy, but what if he says no? And I was the big deal.
Right? Yeah, it's like literally the worst.
Right.
That's in the
Right,
house.
exactly.
Fuck it.
Right. If he
Fuck
says no,
yes.
I'm gonna move on, right? All right. I think it's back up to Tom. Tom, what's your best
God.
cheesy pickup line? Chat, feel
Hey,
free to
girl.
join in.
Hey girl, is yo dad a butcher? You
Uh,
got some hams in them pants.
All right.
why is your dad
Woo!
shoving hams in the
Hashtag
pants?
me too.
Right. All right, Jason, what do you got?
So this is the one that won me my relationship. I asked her if it was okay if I wooed her, and she loved it. I don't know if that's a pickup line that's corny, but
I like it. I like
Yeah,
it a
I mean,
lot.
weird.
I get it. It's kind of dad jokey, or not dad jokey, but
Yeah,
I
a
guess
little bit.
I guess it's just like, I don't know. No one says that word anymore, right?
Yeah, and if you say it in a full suit with a top hat and a cane and shit, it's just
Yeah.
Is that how
Exactly.
you said it?
and a
You in-
fake English accent.
You instantly
Is that
time
how
travel.
you said it?
Right.
Oh my god.
That's
my
how
God.
I
You
say
have my heart.
everything.
I
God.
googled.
Oh.
I googled bad pickup lines and found a really bad one.
All right, what do you got?
Shoot.
Is your dad a terrorist? Because you're the bomb.
Ah,
Jeez,
wow.
It's awful.
it's pretty bad.
Travis, what do you got?
Hey yo, add me on Snapchat. It's haha Travis. One word.
Nice.
That's
That's it.
that's your cheesy pickup line,
That's the cheesiest shit I got.
right?
I mean, like,
I
Hey,
mean, I'm gonna be
what's
honest
up?
with you guys. I randomly generate these questions and format them off of a bunch of other stuff. So I don't have the answers either. I've never used a pickup line. Every time
Yeah,
I've
I've
been in a
never been-
relationship, it's
Nope.
by accident. So
Yeah, for real.
right,
Yep.
Kat and I got
Yeah, me neither.
Kat and I got in our relationship because I kept my friend from dying, and
Holy shit.
I was respecting the bro code to not hit on her, and that worked better than any time I've ever tried to hit on a girl. So
Yeah, right. Exactly.
all right, let's keep going. What we got here? I got more stories. All right, so this is Penka. We stand with you. This image I found on another website here. Bulgaria has sentenced a pregnant cow named Penka to death for wandering from Bulgaria across the European Union's external border to Serbia.
so disrespectful.
Fuck that bull.
Right, and this is all because
Traitor.
this is all because Penka lacks proper documentation for attempted re-entry.
What the
Jesus Christ, dude. This is so fucking stupid.
It is. It's really dumb. Penka the cow that belongs to Bulgarian Ivan Harampiev. Or sorry, that actually was really wrong. Haralampiv, right? All right.
That's a hell of a mispronunciation.
Ivan Haralampiv, right?
Butcher in his culture.
Exactly. They call me the culture butcher. They entered the neighboring country without being noticed by border guards. A Serbian farmer later found and identified Penka by her badge and returned her to Harampiev. However, Bulgaria forbid Penka for re-entering the country as per European regulations. The farmer was told that by customs officers that Penka must be inspected by a doctor. The Bulgarian doctor concluded that the verdict was that she must be put down because she had left the European Union. That's not really a reason.
Okay. Doctors have way too much fucking power in that country.
Right.
That's fucking crazy.
Right.
They're like, by doctor, we also mean judge and executioner. He's real busy.
The farmer had a Serbian veterinary certificate attesting to Penka's absolute health. Nonetheless, Bulgarian authorities have demanded that Penka be shot. Lack of compassion, a Change.org petition calling to the EU to make an exception for Penka, has collected more than 15,500 signatures at the time of this writing.
Save Penka.
Yeah, I should have got that. Fuck. I should have grabbed that so we could share it.
Yeah.
But we believe that Penka's case reflects a lack of compassion on part of the EU officialdom for everyday people, such as Penka's owner, who is absolutely distraught, the campaign said. Right. Anyway, stand with
This is just
Penka.
an example of how like bureaucracy like dives into people's lives needlessly. Like this poor guy and this poor cow are just trying to live, and these lines in the sand are killing this cow. Like,
That's
this
so
just goes to show how fucked things.
Yep.
Pardon me.
Like, the cow doesn't fucking have any understanding of national boundary or national borders.
Exactly.
Like, what the hell?
Exactly.
This is
It's a fucking
tragic.
cow.
Yeah, exactly. Country lines do not exist in nature.
Yeah.
We should definitely. I mean, like, where's PETA? God damn it!
Yeah,
Well,
the one
Dude,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they fucked up on Harambe. Now they're fucking up on Panka.
Right, exactly.
What's going on, PETA?
Trash.
I want to see all your dicks out.
Get your shit together.
Dicks out for Penka.
All right, so here's some dumb
What's that?
crime. New Orleans. The police investigators.
That's some dumb crime.
Right, exactly. Police investigators are looking for 2 people accused of stealing a television from an Algiers pawn shop and immediately pawning it back to the same shop.
So
But it
fucking
worked in Skyrim.
Right, exactly. Do, 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 do.
Oh my
Do,
god.
do, 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 do,
Srota!
do. Exactly.
That's so funny.
I never even thought about that. Fuck, dude. I wish I had. I really wish I said. I really wish that this was titled "Fussro Dumbass," dude. Like.
Oh yeah, right.
All right. So the pair identified by police as Dawn Adams, 32, and Dana Francois Carter at 38 were spotted by the store's security cameras during May 31st heist. A New Orleans Police Department news release says. Police officials said that the cameras captured Adam and Francois Carter entering the store around 5:20 p.m. that day, where they headed to the electronics section. They took the TV from the shelf, removed the price tag, police officials said, then took it to the front counter. Using his own real identification, Adams then pawned the TV for $175. Apparently they also have not caught him, which is ridiculous. Anyone with information can
That's
call.
crazy.
Right, can call the detectives at a number you can find in the list after this show goes up. There's also an anonymous tip line at Crime Stoppers. So they got away with it too. I wonder if they.
Oh my god.
I wonder if they put the bucket over the shopkeep's head.
Amazing.
Perfect.
They tricked him. They're like, Khajiit has wares.
All right. So here's one. A family from Russia's Bashkortostan. Sorry, I'm gonna fuck this one up real good too. Bashkortostan region has presented the local museum of the Interior Ministry with a 1926 Arabic language edition of the Soviet Criminal Code, which they misidentified as the Quran for generations.
Holy shit!
Oh my god.
The ministry's
Holy
press
shit.
service said on Tuesday. The museum was presented with the edition of the code by an elderly woman whose family had mistaken it for the Quran, and they used to put it under their children's heads when they slept.
So Papa Lennon could look over them.
Right.
Also, like, the fact that it's generations, that's like multiple decades where nobody bothered to figure out how to read this fucking book.
Right, exactly. My mother said that it was a holy book, which was supposed to be wrapped in cloth and placed under a pillow so that children would keep calm and not misbehave. Many years later, we found out that this is a 1926 edition of the Soviet Criminal Code.
God damn it.
The Museum of the Interior Ministry was happy to have the book.
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, that's how we'll end that.
Uh,
We are honored to have this criminal code book that is no longer relevant, and we are a little ashamed that for generations we have.
Exactly. Well,
Passed this off as the most holy book of whole
Exactly.
religion.
it's the family.
Also, I was
Go ahead.
gonna say I was mistaken. It would have been Stalin, not Lenin. I was off by a couple of years. So
Gotcha.
Daddy Stalin looked over them.
Exactly. But no, this is it was the family that owned the book that was mistaking it for generations, not the museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All right, so this next one is going to go to Jason. Jason, first to
Sexy.
Jason. Everybody else will get this afterwards, right? So if you were king,
Let me go last.
what would your throne look like?
Oh shit.
Uh,
If I was king, Jesus, I don't know. That's a weird question.
right?
Okay, number one, I'm really into capitalism, so it's gonna be hard for me to answer this.
Right.
But it would be a really fucking super comfortable computer chair. Like,
right.
with
Well,
the
I mean,
headrest.
so imagine
you know,
you're like, like one of those one of the royals that don't matter, like the Queen of England, right?
right.
Right.
So
I mean,
never had to do anything.
yeah, just figurehead, right?
I don't know, but I wouldn't
Wow.
be wearing pants.
Andrew
I'll tell you
Wilson
that
says,
shit.
well, first I order every dragon dildo in the kingdom. And then I make a recreation of the Game of Thrones, and it's just weird.
The mother of dragons.
All right, Tom, what do you think?
Another dragon dildo.
I would go with. I think it'd be really nice, like very intricately carved wood, because I do woodworking for a hobby, and I think having something like that on hand, I would take a lot of inspiration from. Because I can never find the motivation to put more time into my hobby.
Right.
I'm always fucking tired from grad school. But I think having a really beautiful wooden chair would make me be like, looking at my chair and be like, damn, I want to make another one of these. And then I go carve some wood.
Excellent. Man Bear Pig says the Dr. Evil's chair. Twisty Top Hatter says, if I were queen, my throne would be a ginormous couch with tons of pillows and blankets. I agree very similarly. I'm saying swimming pool full of pillows.
Oh shit.
Ooh.
I saw
That's
one
not a
at the.
throne.
Meet me in the pool of pillows. We
I'm
will
the
discuss
king.
that.
I
guess if
say
you're
it's
king,
the throne,
yeah.
right? Like,
Right, yeah, exactly.
Definitely go click the link in incognito that Andy posted. It is the Iron Throne, but made of dicks.
I'm cool. Not clicking that. Thank you for telling me what it is.
Whoa! That's hilarious.
someone
That's
just
literally
clicked.
metal
man.
as fuck.
Yep.
It's like they're
I
all
will not be
protruding
clicking
out
that
the
link,
back,
so-
and so you like lean
Yeah,
back into it.
I don't
and
care
it's
how
just
cool
like,
you describe it.
No, I'm gonna click it, and it's just gonna fill every page on my computers, and we're gonna get banned instantly. Is what's gonna
Twitch
happen.
man.
Right.
This is Twitch fan. Woo!
Right. All right. So, Travis, you're up.
Oh, so like imagine like a big giant pyramid
Right.
with like a chair, right? And
Okay,
like
okay.
a full data dock up there, right? And then I'd have like lots of computer shit, right? That's if I was king.
Oh,
Right.
if you had a pyramid and then a rolling computer chair, you could ride your chair down the pyramid.
I could just have like like old people have those like chair lifts.
Right.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking. But like, I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool too. I could just like
Well, you could
chairlift
ride the
back.
chairlift up and then yoom, your way back down.
yeah, like a roller coaster. All right. So roller
Hell
coaster
yeah.
pyramid chair. But just to clarify, I'm going into politics later on in my life, and I do not intend to have a pyramid throne.
Liar.
Just clarify. I'm going for the antithesis of that with my career.
Exactly.
But a pyramid throne would be pretty fucking lit. Not gonna lie.
Hell yeah.
All right.
In the desert.
Fair enough.
So, a city in northern China has introduced a special pedestrian lane in one of its roads, exclusively for slow walking smartphone users.
All right, I like it.
We all need them.
Dig.
It should just be everywhere. Holy shit.
Does that mean it's legal to shove them into it if they're in the wrong lane and they're walking super slow? Boof!
That would be
Get
great.
in the right lane.
Right, exactly. I mean, locally, I remember how much of a fucking kerfuffle it was when they took some of the road to add a bus lane. Right?
Yeah.
Could you imagine how much of a fucking kerfluffle that would be if they tried to add a cell phone lane?
I don't think there's enough foot traffic here.
Right.
So,
No,
like, if I'm
man.
gonna picture that, I would think it'd be like at
Like
New
New
York
York
City or something.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
or San
You know what I
Francisco,
mean?
LA, yeah, that type of shit.
Yeah.
Portland.
Yeah.
Anything like
Like the
Portland size and above.
megatropolises.
Yeah.
Right, and apparently there's a nickname for these people in Xi'an province called fubbers, which are people who stare at their phone and ignore everything else around them.
They straight have a fucking cell phone walking slur, huh?
Right.
They have the fubber lane now.
Right, exactly. The lane is painted
You know
red,
that's-
green, and blue in different like blocks, right? And it's 80 centimeters wide and 100 meters long, the one lane that exists. So apparently that place is so bad with people just being assholes on their phone that 100 meters needed to be reserved.
Yeah.
It says that cars often come onto the pavement, which is a busy channel for pedestrians who might not be paying attention to their surroundings. And so this was created to make a safe walking space for people not paying any attention.
So that's the lane where you don't have to.
Yeah.
Wait, so is that the lane where you don't have to dive out of the way of oncoming cars?
Yeah, pretty much.
What the fuck?
Let's think about this though. There's a lot of danger to this because if we even think about like self-driving cars, right? That's a whole huge innovation. We're not really there yet. We're at an intermediate level where it's like semi self-driving cars. You still need to be paying attention, but already people aren't paying attention and literally killing people. Like,
right.
I feel like humans just can't be trusted to just let things go on autopilot.
Right. Not yet.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yet, at least, right?
Right.
Let alone,
Yeah.
I feel like this lane right here is going to lead to many people walking and slipping on bananas and shit like that. It's just going to be.
That's it. There's gonna be a slew of like fucking just guys that are bananaing the cell phone lane.
Yeah.
Are you telling me you wouldn't troll the cell phone lane? Come
Right.
on.
I mean, I would.
All right. It is also said that fubbers using the lane may still risk bumping into each other. So, a British Columbia couple whose religious views were considered too extreme even for churches and pastors.
I read it.
Right. That put them at odds with family, doctors, and social workers, and anyone else trying to help them with their daughter, have recently just lost a custody battle for their daughter. The unusual child custody trial featured the couple speaking in tongues to a stuffed lion that they said transmitted the word of God directly to them, and refusing legal assistance because Jesus Christ, through the stuffed lion, was their lawyer.
Huh.
So what's the problem here?
Right.
Schizophrenia is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, exactly. In November, when the girl was 1, the court formally declared she was in need of protection and placed her in provincial custody, a decision the parents appealed to the Supreme Court. The parents claimed the judge violated their charter rights, discriminated against them as Christians, and made procedural errors. Both parents were raised in Christian homes in Ontario, she in Ontario, he in BC, but they strayed from their roots until reconnecting with their beliefs as adults, where they met in 2014 and shared a mutual interest in their own emerging view of the faith, and were privately married a year later. They're not named to protect the identity of the child. They had unstable working and living arrangements, moving around various communities, and I mean, really, from here it goes crazy. But luckily, the child's been taken. The big point was that they were using a stuffed lion as a lawyer.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Right, a stuffed lion that was lion that was channeling Jesus. So
Simba went to law school.
What I don't understand is why the fuck are these people crazy and not people who see Jesus in pancakes or who read the same fucking book every weekend for 50 years? You know what I mean? Like,
it's because when it comes down to it, at least those people who are seeing the pancakes will hire a real lawyer.
I guess that's fair.
Right. And when it comes down to it, they don't usually let Jesus take the wheel. Right? Like,
that's just because they're not true believers.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, these are the real believers.
All right, so New Zealand researchers are curbing the country's greenhouse gas problem, one fart at a time.
Please no
They're just
fart.
murdering people.
Please
Right.
don't tell me this is a fart filter story.
Oh, no. It's worse than that. So scientists at Intervame Agricultural Center in Mossigel, about 360 kilometers southwest of Christchurch. I mean, that doesn't tell me anything. I don't know where either of these places are. Have bred climate-friendly sheep that produce 10% less methane than their gassy counterparts. So today I learned
Sheep shit.
that fucking sheep have a massive tendency to fart and burp all the time.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that?
No,
I guess
I
I'm
had no
part
idea.
goat.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I think I'm part sheep.
Livestock emissions are the biggest contributor to New Zealand's greenhouse gas emissions and make up 10% of Australia's total greenhouse emissions. The breeding climate friendly sheep right, so friendly sheep woman with glasses. Wait, fuck. This is a dumb piece of. All right, now in its third generation, Dr. Rowe and the breeding program began with 2 breeding lines of 100 ewes that were separated into high and low gas emitting groups. We're looking to see whether or not the trait was genetic and if breeding for low methane was possible, or if there were other effects on health caused by low methane emitting sheep, right? But yeah, so they bred a bunch of sheep that fart 10% less. So
I mean, that's pretty cool, actually.
right, I am definitely, but it's honestly the one of the like I don't know if I want that on my resume, right?
Okay,
It's like
well-
simultaneously really silly and
Yeah.
ridiculous, and also
Yeah.
like kind of useful and practical.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
This
This-
blah-
What are all the fucking woo kids gonna do though? Because technically they're genetically modified, but they're also saving the environment.
That's true. Oh no.
Shit.
Are they gonna be like boycotting these sheep wool, right? Because they're genetically
Oh, you
modified
know what's happening,
for less
Oh,
parts.
right? I don't want no genetically modified clothing.
Angry Cicada
Get
says
that.
best farm animal. We should really be worrying about sheep farts though. Oh, should we
sheep-
really be worrying about sheep farts? I mean,
I think the real problem is the darts.
right, sheep darts.
Blah, punk.
All right, Travis, what is the best room in your house?
So it's like a location in a room, but it makes it the best room, right?
Okay.
It's the front room. It's because it's where it holds the battle stations, right? Got,
Gotcha.
like dual battle stations going on, and it is literally just like, oh, there's nothing better than battle.
All right, Tom, what's the best room in your house?
I think my favorite area is probably actually the backyard. The natural lighting of my house sucks. But my backyard is also where I have all my blacksmithing stuff.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, go out
What?
there, enjoy some sunshine, bang some metal.
You blacksmith? That's lit, dude.
And more just metalworking currently, but I'm getting a welder on Monday, and I'm putting together. I plan to put together a propane forge in the next month, and I've
Fuck
actually got
yeah.
I've got an anvil that I'm borrowing from Udo.
Dude, get it. That's awesome.
So excited, yeah. I love metalworking.
Yes,
It's so much fun.
It's rewarding. I've done it like a little bit of
Yeah.
it, a little handy, but like it's really rewarding when you like change metal and then it like hardens. And you're like,
Yeah.
I did that. Ha!
Yeah, I'm sure my neighbors are gonna fucking hate me with this.
Oh, it just started at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, start a little later in the day. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, definitely my backyard. It's kind of my primary workshop, and I love being out there and doing stuff.
Angry asks if that is her anvil, and the answer is it's our anvil.
Rip.
That's funny.
the infamous Captain Pooh
Busted.
says, I pooped in the dryer and turned it on high.
Okay.
Yeah.
Congrats,
Excellent.
sir.
All right.
Fair enough.
Actually, I have an
Ultimate prank.
almost kind of related story.
Yes.
One time I destroyed a cell phone because I got really drunk at my friend's bachelor party, pissed the bed, woke up in the morning, realized I had pissed the bed,
Mhm.
stripped the bed, and threw the sheets into the washer and then the dryer without realizing my phone was in there.
Wow. That's no good.
It was no good at all.
I mean, it still worked, right?
Jason,
Yeah,
did I ask you what the best room in your house is?
you did not.
All right, let's do it.
I'd say probably my office because it's where I do all my work and all my gaming. So it's my fave.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have to say front room because it's literally where everything is, where all the fun is. Like, the lady hangs out on the couch while I play video games. We can interact, and it's great. All right, we're gonna move on to Today in Cool.
Like this segment.
Right, exactly. So everything here is going to be rather, positively, aligned. Infamous Captain Pooh says, "Have you ever pooped in a urinal?" And no, I have not.
No. Nope.
It's
Not
because
yet.
I'm not a savage. So, all right. This story is called "Angry Cicada, Pay Attention." This is Svetlana and Yuri Pantelekenko, who are a typical Russian couple living in Moscow. They eat dinner together, they water their plants, they watch the TV in the evening, but instead of having children, they've raised Stefan, a 300-pound bear.
It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not.
Oh my god, I want him. I want one. I'm gonna hug him and rub his belly.
Right.
Until he eats you, right? But yeah.
Yeah,
No,
until he fucking
no, he's
kills
like-
you.
He'd be my baby. He wouldn't eat
Have
me.
you? No.
Yeah.
I totally.
Never works out.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I know this is a fucking dumb idea, but I can imagine.
This is how you get your hands ripped off and your face. But, Stefan may look intimidating, but he's a bigger softie than Winnie the Pooh, they say. Svetlana and Yuri rescued him from the woods when he was a 3-month-old after hunters killed his mother. Though he was apparently in bad shape at the time, he's now a 23-year-old bear. They've had him for 23 years.
That was an accident.
Who likes nothing better than cuddling up on the sofa to watch television.
Oh my god.
The couple has been criticized online for stealing the cub from the wild, but Stefan is quite happy to be extremely domesticated. He has never bitten his adopted human parents, and he is described as an affectionate people person. And he's even learned how to help nurture the garden plants by holding a watering can between his paws.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I believe fucking none of this.
I believe it all. I choose
No.
to believe.
It is
I
bullshit.
choose to believe there's nothing you can
No.
do to dissuade me of this.
No, you don't want to know, dude. This is. They're just trying to get stupid fucking Californians to adopt bears.
Hell yeah. And stupid fucking Oregonians like me. I want to rub that belly.
The 7-foot-tall gentle giant goes through 52 pounds of fish, vegetables, and eggs every day.
Holy fuck.
But his favorite
Yeah.
treat is a bowl of sweetened condensed milk, and he stays in shape by playing football, wrestling with his parents, and giving bear hugs and high fives.
Yeah, they
his
also
parents.
left out eating the neighbor's children.
Now, where do you think they get the 52 pounds of meat, right?
Yeah.
Like-
That's
Neighborhood
what I'm
cat.
saying.
Whatever. It's worth it.
Oh god, that sounds bad.
right.
Oh, I really want
Wait.
to pet him.
He eats 52 pounds of meat a day
A day.
or a week. Dude, that's what?
Yeah. That's
Yo, they're fucking straight up. This is this is human people. That's not good.
exactly. They're kidnapping fucking
No way, dude.
villagers and feeding it to the bear. All right. Our next story.
It's not a fucking dog, you liar.
Image is still related. A courageous dog has been caught on film fighting off a leopard that tried to take her puppy. The dog fights off the leopard that attacks her puppy on the security camera. The incident occurred outside of the Indian Forest Service in the northern state of Himachal Pradesh. The dog and its puppy were sitting on the front office door when the leopard attacked the puppy all of a sudden. And without hesitation, the pup's mother attacked the larger target and forced it to retreat back, dropping the dog. Both dogs are fine, and it's believed that actually the leopard was injured in the scuffle. And they've learned that there was an injured leopard in the area, right? But here is the video camera footage. It's not violent. You just can see that leopard goes for it, and the dog's all, "Get out of here! Get out of here! I'm gonna get you!"
That's fucking tight, dude.
Yeah, fearless dog, big ass leopard, right?
Now I will raise one point of contention.
Right.
If it was a bear probably would have done a better job.
Yeah, probably.
So there is that.
Actually, speaking of dogs and bears, I saw a video of it was like I think it was a black bear wandering around in somebody's yard, and their French bulldog came out and went ape shit on this bear and scared it off.
I saw that one. Yep. That little bear was fearless as fuck. Or that little dog was fearless as fuck of that bear.
Yeah.
Whatever this video is, I want to see it later. So I'm gonna come back to this and find this whatever the hell that cat's doing, dude.
Time out.
Exactly. All right. So I think it's back up to Tom. If someone offered to fund it, what documentary would you? It says like, but make. And what I mean is make. What documentary would you make?
Not gonna lie, what about Afterworlds?
Well, I mean, sounds good. I mean, I'd do it.
Hell yeah.
All right, Jason, if someone offered to fund it, what documentary would you make?
Okay, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of fucking flack for this, and it might not be a popular opinion.
Insane
And
Clown
it's probably
Posse.
actually already going to happen.
Okay.
And we all have to actually live with this. This is going to happen.
Right.
A documentary on the Trump administration with Trump leading the documentary.
Well,
Interesting.
I want to get inside that head.
right, but I mean, like, if you gave him any control, it would just be lies.
Yeah, but that's what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I think that'd be interesting.
Dude,
I
you put
give a shit.
Melania
Maybe a
in charge.
reality show, actually.
Put
Maybe
Melania
more of
in
a
charge.
reality
Oh, put Melania in charge. Holy shit, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
She doesn't like to work, though, so I don't know if that'd work.
Right, but you just say that you'll smuggle her out when you're done. Right? Like, you give her escape.
I'm not touching now the 10-foot pole. I know you're listening.
Man Bear Pig says that needs to have Morgan Freeman narrating it.
Morgan Freeman.
That'd be amazing. Trump narrating it.
Trying to form consistent
God.
sentences.
I'd actually watch that.
Travis, what do you think? What kind of documentary would you like to make?
LARPing, Beyond the Stigma.
Hell
Gotcha.
yeah. That's
Straight
kind of what
up.
I had in mind with Afterworlds, yeah.
Angry Cicada says current info on demon possessions. And I'm gonna be hilarious, and I'm gonna make the documentary on that fucking bear family. Right? We're gonna get answers on whether or not they're eating children.
Just do a documentary on where they're sourcing their meat. That is
exactly.
like,
Where
This is
call
what-
it
that's the real
52
question.
pounds.
I already know where it is. They're sourcing it straight from Crimea. Like, fuck. We annexed it for this fucking grizzly bear.
Oh, piggy.
All right. So a little piggy's adventures in a Jersey Shore town over the Memorial Day weekend wound up getting him on the back of, or put in the back of a patrol car. The Neptune Township Police Department posted photos on Facebook of the pig that was discovered running loose in the area of Route 33 and Route 35 by an officer. Upon arrival, he found what they've now named Pork Roll, running hog wild, most likely looking for an evening coffee and donuts from Dunkin' Donuts, the police said. He managed to catch the well-fed hog and take him into custody for questioning and to provide him with a job application as our new mascot.
Amazing.
Exactly. Pork Roll was taken into custody following a low-speed foot pursuit in the area. Police then took Pork Roll to Monmouth County SPCA for safekeeping until he was retrieved later by the owner. The story has a happy ending, and Pork Roll was safely picked up by his owner after enjoying a stroll around town in a police car.
What a cutie.
Exactly. Authorities hope the pork roll's happy ending can be replicated elsewhere in the county. Man Bear Pig says twins.
That's just what I was thinking.
A picture worth one verse of Old MacDonald. Excellent. Here we go. This is Cumberland, Wisconsin. Police had praise for students who created an illusion for senior class prank that showed that a car had crashed into the principal's office. So
That's amazing.
If you see, this car is actually cut at the wall, and they put a fake hole in the wall and put bricks everywhere to make it look like somebody had crashed into the building. Which
you
is
can totally tell.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, this is like one of the best senior pranks I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone is going to get kicked out of their school for this one.
The wizard went really hog wild with their portable hole.
Right. Jason, were you there? Did you see the episode where we covered the one where the guy got kicked out of his school for putting his school on Craigslist for sale?
What? No.
He listed it as though it was a house. It was plenty of parking for large parties.
That's amazing.
And oddly large kitchen.
Why
And
would they
dining room.
fucking kick him out for that? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he was told. Well, he wasn't kicked out. He was just not allowed to walk.
It was because
That's
he
super fun.
Right.
he said the reason it was listed
Oh,
was
yeah.
the impending loss of students, and they were like robble school shootings,
Right. Exactly.
which is stupid as fuck.
Real
my
dumb.
God.
And he was talking
But the
about
graduation
graduation.
was right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Graduation
Yeah.
was coming up, and he was impending loss of students, right? Because they're going to lose some students. But
Yeah,
This
but that could
is
easily be taken the
ridiculous.
wrong way.
yeah,
I don't
it's
know. I kind of
dumb.
get it.
I get it.
I
but,
get it,
mean,
but also, yeah.
I'd call the NRA for a lawyer, and then I'd sue the fuck out of them. Are you kidding me? Huh.
All right. Much lighter story than what we eventually just turned into. So this Arizona dog has been named a hero. This is not the exact picture, but I found one that was very similar. An
pretty
Arizona dog has been named a hero after his owner's security camera captured footage of him saving his drowning best friend in the video.
Wow.
The pup named Remus is seen standing outside of the family's pool just as his canine pal Smokey swim towards the deep end of the pool and begins to struggle. As time goes by, Smokey, whom his owners have now admitted is not a good swimmer, gets more and more anxious as he can't exit the pool by himself. So Remus paces around the pool several times until he jumps in and helps the other dog out and then gets out by himself. So here's that video. This is
What a good
absolutely adorable.
Yes.
So here you can see Remus is the one on the outside, and there's Smokey inside starting to struggle. We're about to watch the most adorable thing. Prepare your Oz. He got Smokey out. He got him out.
I like that the other dog. I'm just gonna go over here to the stairs, you fucking idiot. Like, what the fuck, dude? That was way less cool than I thought.
Right. Not only is Smokey not the best swimmer, but apparently not the smartest either.
Just fucking retarded.
Oh my god, that was
That was
adorable.
amazing.
Yep.
Yeah, that was really good.
All
And
right.
that dog is pretty awesome.
With the internet being a thing, do people read more or less than 50 years ago? Jason,
Probably more,
do you think?
I'd say.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's just different stuff, right? Like people are like, oh, you don't read. It's like, I don't read books. I don't read like a physical newspaper, but I read like fucking 30 newspapers every morning.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like I read like 40 to 50 articles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like a ton of my social communication is through text now.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Travis? Do you think people read more or less?
Well, I mean, like when I when you think about like what people would do when they'd sit out on the shitter, and I think that's like the most that they would like read ever, really. Like, you know, like when you think about the whole of the like people, all the people, the most reading probably comes when they're sitting on the shitter, right? Like everybody had a book, a magazine, whatever, when they're sitting there, right? Bear with me, please. So now when you whip out your phone when you get on the shitter, what do you look at?
I read.
Memes. Like
Yeah,
for me, I just pull up the quickest, easiest thing. I'm gonna be there for fucking ever, you know.
Yeah.
And I just pull up the quickest, easiest thing and look for a couple minutes, do my thing. I'm out of there. I don't really sit down to read into a chapter book, right? And back when I did a long time ago before I had a cell phone, I would often find myself staying there to finish my chapter. So I think that I've actually had this thought myself and spent some time thinking about this myself prior to this
Wall
question.
pooping,
That's why I
of
have
course.
a full answer, but I think that it's honestly less because we might be reading as many words or close to as many words, but we're not like in-depth reading information like we were.
Right, but I mean, a chapter book
Yeah,
is not
I disagree.
information, right? A
Well,
chapter
yeah.
book is,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Depending on
And
what
I
you're
disagree with
reading.
that strictly because now I can open any book in the fucking world, any newspaper in the fucking world,
That's true.
literally at any time because
That's
it's
true.
in my pocket.
Hmm.
It's not like, oh, I'm bored, I'm waiting in line at the fucking DMV to fill out some shit. Like, I'm just gonna stand here like everybody else. It's like, no, I'm gonna actually read something. You know, like
Yeah,
I think
there
people
is
do
that.
that every day.
Right. And
That's
so,
true.
do you, as a side question to this, Enid also says way more. Do you think that
Oh.
things like podcasts and videos, like educational videos, you know, not just entertainment ones, have the same kind of learning, effects and stuff that you would have like 50 years ago when you would be reading a newspaper or a, a journal, right? Do you think it's the same kind of we get smarter by reading or watching educational videos or podcasts as we did 50 years ago?
I think it's different. I think it's more diffuse and generalized. Whereas
I'd
50
actually.
years ago, if you like read into like, let's say you're reading a book on studies they've done on people in like, it's like sociological studies they've done on people,
Right.
right? You'll get like super in depth into that subject and fully read it out. But if you just watch a podcast on like those same experiments, you're not going to get that full breadth of information. So I mean, like, I think there's more generalized education because
Okay, but you're
What
not
were you
saying
saying,
you're
Tom?
not saying that we don't learn from it. We're learning more broad information.
yes, exactly. We're picking up tiddly bits of everything as opposed to like a full bit of one thing.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I definitely see where you're coming from with that. I also do
Right.
think that generally, and this is just me and the people that I know, that I see on a regular basis. Like there are things that we specialize in that we read. You know what I mean?
Right.
But let's say like my toilet breaks and I want to fix it, I'll watch a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was never a possibility back in the day. I'd have to go fucking buy a tool. Well, I guess I still have to buy a tool, but I'd have to buy a fucking book on how to do it, or basically just hire a person.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'd
And,
also
like-
say, yeah. Sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry. No, go.
I'd say kind of in the modern age with like I don't know, like essentially Google and like the functionally the lump sum body of all human knowledge, like with easily accessible within I don't know 30 seconds probably. I don't know. You might
Yeah.
have to dig a little more for some more esoteric topics,
Yeah.
but like knowing where to find how to know something is in the modern era I would say basically nearly as useful as knowing how to do it directly, like with some exceptions for like muscle memory and stuff, because there's definitely certain things that you can't just go watch a video and do.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fair. Yeah.
Twisty says,
Well-
I think there's now more a diverse way of absorbing information now because most people are listening to a multitude of perspectives rather than a few journalists or experts.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
And there is the ability, like they said, to like if you're like, oh, well, I want to learn way more about these like social experiments, you can just continue to Google onto every different pathway as opposed to going back to the library and grabbing another book to go back out and do it again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true that.
Blaze Black Sheep, welcome. He said, Blaze Black Sheep says, internet has created a bunch of jack of all trades people that don't master things anymore.
That's basically what.
Right, but that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's not a horrible thing.
So
Yeah, the second part of Jack of all trades, Master of nothing, is. Let me find it. I forgot what it actually says, but that's saying basically Jack of all trades. Yeah, it's better than Master of none. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I think it's Jack of all trades, master of none, better than a master of one, is the full saying.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, demonstrating the power of Google, we can find it.
I know that's what I was literally just doing.
Let's learn.
I was reading.
Yeah. So this big old crocodile.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna push this on a little bit.
Yeah, you good.
Big old crocodile has died from overeating after record numbers of worshippers started throwing goats and chickens into its pond in a bid to get good luck.
Wow.
So for years, visitors have gone to the Hazrat Khan Jazan Ali Shrine in Sadar Upazila of Bagarat district in southwestern Bangladesh, in the belief that feeding the crocodile would guarantee them luck in troubled economic times. But the priests at the shrine said that the large number of worshippers in recent months have been turning up offering sacrifices to the crocodiles, who had rapidly grown very fat from the offerings. Until recently, there were 4 crocodiles, but 3 of them died of obesity-related problems, leaving a massive food supply for the final crocodile, who who then died of literally being the fattest crocodile.
You can see how chubby he is.
It's like it barely touches the ground. Look at his arms; they're elevated.
He is cute.
Right.
And terrifying. I'm really happy we do wishing wells here. That's such a better way to do it.
Exactly. Wishing crocodiles is pretty terrible.
Yeah, I want a wishing crocodile.
Oh, the Google images on them are so funny.
Yep, and I guess the way that they used to do this was that they would offer, when the offering was made, the crocodile would be summoned by priests who then banged a gong to announce that the dinner was served, and then the crocodile would arise minutes later to the surface and eat its preferred offerings.
Oh my god.
But I guess it was usually chickens that they would throw in, but I guess people have been coming with whole goats lately. And so this crocodile literally was just like, might as well eat another goat. Blaze Backsheep.
Right.
So, okay, Blaze Backsheep says, having no master of things creates janky infrastructure. I'd rather have a master framer frame the walls of my home, or a master electrician. I don't know about you, but I'd rather prefer having straight walls and no fires due to shoddy wiring. Well,
yeah, but you
what
don't need
do?
a master to have that.
Yeah, you just get 5 jacks.
You really don't.
Well, and also my
You
understanding
just
is
get
that,
5 checks.
you get like a journeyman. Like they're not like a master craftsman of their trade, but
Yeah,
they've been at it for like 5-10 years, and
Right.
they are
Exactly.
proficient.
And there will always still be guys who go for mastery instead of jacking.
Yeah.
I really love jacking it. I love learning new stuff and just jacking it and being a jack of all trades. It's fun.
Enet Down says that's
Yeah.
a false dichotomy. I
Dichotomy.
know,
Dichotomy?
I'm
Okay,
being
okay.
very funny.
Actually, I'll be right back though. I gotta pee or my bladder's gonna explode.
Exactly.
No, we know what you're saying, Blaze. We
yeah.
get it, bro.
Yeah.
I was there last week. Oh my god.
And
I didn't pee through the whole podcast. At the end, I ran to the bathroom.
Oh, shit.
That's what every one of these shows are for me.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move into Florida Man, and for those of you who are joining us for the first time, we have a game you can play along with us. I'm going to put the bingo card in the chat here. You click that, and it will bring up a bingo card. You can play along. Whatever you get, you get. It's not really for anything. It's just for fun. And Florida Man stories are always wacky. Jason, did you miss Florida Man?
I missed Florida Man bingo.
Right, exactly.
I will never miss Florida Man.
All right, so our first story as a Deland man is accused of attacking his mother and flipping over furniture because he did not like the way that the ham that she cooked turned out, according to police. Robert Barlock is accused of pushing his 80-year-old mother down because he became upset.
That's fair, I guess.
Right.
Did I come back to ham?
Yes.
Florida man. Put his mom
Ham.
down because of ham.
Yep.
Going.
The 80-year-old mother said that she gave Barlock a sample of the baked ham and she was making when he became so upset with the taste that her son allegedly shoved her. Oh, shit. Missed it. Allegedly shoved her over, according to the affidavit. Barlock allegedly stopped pushing his mother and told her that he would destroy the furniture. He then went into the living room and flipped over a couch and a table, according to the affidavit. Police noted that there were no visible injuries to Kleinmeyer. Kleinmeyer told the police that Barlock was drinking alcohol and became aggressive, and that it has become an ongoing issue. Yeah, ham attack. So
This is not the way you made it last time.
Steamed ham. Boom, 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 boom. Steamed hams.
Candace says, "How could you be mad at the taste of ham?" And Enid says it must have been a terrible ham. Yeah, I mean,
It had to
maybe.
be really bad.
Maybe it was rum ham.
She didn't make it right. Like,
Enid
not a way
says,
she
Of course it does.
right, exactly. Enid says that it
Oh,
doesn't
hell
count as
yeah.
an unusual weapon. No one attacked with the ham.
Damn it.
Ooh.
Right.
Oh.
I mean, it might.
But was it in the butt?
I don't think so. Maybe that's
Damn
what the
it.
problem was.
Right?
He taste tested the ham rectally and was all, what the fuck? That guy was attacked by terrible ham, I guess. Right? You know, that's a good one.
Yeah.
But don't worry.
Did this all occur at a strip club?
No, it was actually
Just
at
trying
that
to check
home.
things out.
It was at an
I know.
80-year-old woman's home.
Right, but in
Hell
Florida,
yeah, 80-year-old strippers.
right? That's Florida. Jacksonville.
No teeth.
All right, so Port St. Lucie, the old pretending to be a sleep trick apparently didn't work after a 23-year-old man got pulled over during a crash investigation, according to an arrest affidavit. A silver Ford van with dark tinted windows was reported leaving the scene of the 1600 block of Southeast Gaucho Avenue. An officer stopped the silver van and saw a man look at me through the large side view mirror in the driver's seat. He then jumped into the back seat and pretended to be asleep. The man had put the van in park before hopping into the back, or had tried to put the van into park before hopping into the back seat, but instead of park, he shifted into reverse and backed into the police car.
Oh my god.
Police identified the man as 23-year-old Estuardo Chaj, and police say that Chaj hasn't had a license issued to him.
Super genius.
He's only been in the U.S. for 15 days and lives in Guatemala.
Oh no.
So what you're saying to me right now, Udo, is that like some cop came up and rammed this poor guy while he was sleeping and woke him up.
Nice.
God.
That's all I got. It's
Yeah.
like,
Do you guys see anything wrong with this picture here?
that van's upside down.
Yep.
Oh, it
It
flips
looks
out
like
of
it
the
came
parking
out of
lot.
the-
Sure.
Yeah.
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 Did they die?
No, they actually survived.
Holy shit!
Yeah, exactly. But the exit wound on that fucking building.
Yeah. That's
drive-
fucking serious.
Right. The driver behind a van that plummeted from a parking lot in Miami International is speaking out about the ordeal for the first time. 49-year-old Orlando Luna, an employee of American Airlines, got into his work van on Friday, buckled up, and hit the gas. He said that the van accelerated to a speed that he could not control. I felt like the vehicle was fighting with itself, like it was fighting against me. The van traveled about 16 feet. Now, this is the thing that bothers me about this story. The investigators say it traveled 16 feet. he fucking floored this van. Like,
Yeah.
to bust through concrete with an acceleration distance of 16 feet.
he's been souping up that van.
He just cracks the nitrous like fucking
Seriously.
exactly. Too fast, too
I like
family
the
van.
distance they got. He went right over those trees.
Yeah, he
Like-
cleared some fucking after busting through concrete.
That is a solid arc.
Yeah, Enet says drunk, or he tried to kill himself, or lied about the distance that he traveled. Twisty Top Hatter says conspiracy theory. Right, Luna said that he felt lucky to be alive after taking the massive plunge that, and has learned that he may be able to leave the hospital as early as Wednesday. Right. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much the whole story. He starts talking about how he was saved by the power of faith. Not Horatio says, do not discount the power of the vans. Right. I'm assuming that he hit like face first, right? With the van, and then that flipped over. Because I'm pretty sure he would have a problem. Otherwise, yeah. Cultural Rogue says definitely start at 2 floors down. Yeah, he's like, wah, boom. Plus ultra. Look at the
Florida smash.
Exactly, Florida smash. 1,000,000%. I apparently forgot the notes on this one. Let me grab it here. I'm really glad that I save everything. But where'd it go? Here we go. This one is a man arrested after police find missing zoo animals in his apartment. So
that's amazing.
Here's
that's definitely unusual, Lou.
Right, I was about to say that.
Yeah.
So this Gainesville man was arrested after police find missing zoo animals. Santa Fe College police arrested a man on Tuesday.
Could this be bestiality too?
Well, maybe you'll find out. They arrested a man on Tuesday on charges that he stole at least 7 animals missing from the college's zoo and stored them in a Gainesville apartment. He faces charges of grand larceny, according to the TV report. The college police and the Alachua County Sheriff's Office said 3 box turtles, 2 redfoot tortoises, a skink, and a squirrel monkey were all recovered from Price's place at crossings in Santa Fe apartments. A total of 11 animals were reported stolen from the zoo in the last 2 weeks. Police said a tip led them to the Price's apartment, where and students helped identify the missing animals. Police are still looking for 4 more animals. Right. Of the 4 animals still missing, 2 have medical conditions which require attention, according to the zoo officials. Thankfully, the police received a tip that led to the recovery of the animals. We are still hopeful that the 2 gopher tortoises and 2 box turtles who need medical attention are recovered. This guy stole like fucking 7 turtles. Just a whole bunch of turtles.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He just really fucking.
What was his reason? Like, was it science or freedom?
I just fucking like turtles, man.
I'm wondering. They don't really say. Yeah, it doesn't really say why he did it. It may have been, he may have been smuggling. He may have been doing all sorts of shit. So.
Gotcha.
I mean, maybe he just wanted a cool house like in Sims.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Let's have a bunch of tortoises.
Andrew Wilson says that man is long. He does look like a lanky individual. X-Flight says that's what she said. Cultural Rogue says, if this was for a prank video, I want to see that prank video. Right?
Right.
All right. It was just your typical 3 a.m. street fight outside of a bar in Tampa until Florida man went and ran everyone over. So in a surveillance video, and I'm not showing this one because it's very bad. It's very violent. You can see a group of guys fighting at a Nissan Altima, or around a Nissan Altima parked against the curb. According to the Tampa Fox 13, the driver was involved in the fight and trying to leave, but failed to complete a U-turn in the narrow street. It's unknown whether the driver was trying to drive into the brawling group or was mistaken that the car wasn't in reverse when he punched the throttle and drove one fighter straight through the front of the Bad Monkey Bar. After
That's
the
a fucking
incident,
sweet bar name.
exactly.
Right?
After the incident, the driver fled the scene, and the man who was driven into the bar suffered only a minor leg and head injury. And the bar was stuck with $15,000 in damages.
Jeez.
Right.
Jeez.
And if you have any information about who the driver was, contact Tampa police. But yeah, so there was a big brawl, and one of the guys involved just ran everyone over and then left.
Oh my god, I just saw the video. Whoa.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That just stopped the brawl, though. That's one way to end a fight.
Right.
There's route in every direction.
So, this is Florida man hits sleeping roommate on the head with a skillet for being a confidential informant.
What? Was he actually?
Fucking dark.
So a Florida man was arrested after allegedly attacking his roommate with pots, pans, and Corningware and more at their home in the 2nd Street on a dirt road. An officer met with the victim at another home. He was wearing a bloody white T-shirt that reads the news report and had several bloody spots on his upper left arm. He told the officer about his roommate and what transpired yesterday. When 58-year-old Joseph Kren came home where the two live, Kren started accusing him of being a confidential informant, and the roommate said in the affidavit, trying to ignore the probably paranoid Kren, he attempted to fall asleep in his recliner, hoping that his delusional roommate, as he would describe him, would just go away perhaps. Kren seemed to be in a drug-induced state. No drugs were found or reported by the sheriff's office. It's possible that he's just schizophrenic on drugs or just a Florida man.
Yeah.
The victim finally fell asleep, and he was awakened when Mr. Kren started striking him about the head and body with Corningware dishes, pots, pans, and a metal strainer.
A strainer? Jesus.
Right. He told officers that he had was struck in the head with a skillet. Leaping to safety, he called 911. Kren was arrested at his home and charged with a count of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon.
It's like if you already hit him with a skillet, why the fuck did you go to strainer?
Right, exactly. You should just continue with skillet. That's likely going to be more
it's
effective.
like you're already getting arrested.
When he hit him, he's like, "Oh, maybe that's a little bit too much. I don't want to kill him. I just want to really, really aggravate him." So he pulled back and went back to strainer.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Angry Cicada says that man looks freaky as fuck. X-Flight says not a strainer. Right. And the word is fucking colander, you illiterate fucking Florida newspaper.
I mean, the newspaper probably knows that word. But this
stupid
one's
shit
their
for
viewers.
sale.
Yep. All right. So yeah, we've got a choice to make here. How are you guys on time, Tom and Jason?
I'm doing good.
I can finish probably this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Travis had some content for us, and I want to make sure that we got to it tonight. I'm okay to stay a little bit late. And Tom, if you're okay with it, Jason, you can leave whenever you need to.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
But
Okay. Yeah.
if you're good
let's
to
do
keep
it.
going, I did just notice it was 9 o'clock, so I made too much
Yeah, I did
content
too,
today,
anyways.
which is fine.
Yeah, it's good.
All right, so we'll start with you, Tom. Okay, so we've covered shower booze before, right?
Shower beers are the best.
Right, and we were talking. I showed you those things, those containers about how you hide booze in the shower, so that if people are trying to
Yeah.
stop you from drinking in the shower, you can.
Oh yeah.
Right. So, but what happens about when you go to the beach and Sobriety Sam gets on your case about getting sloshed in the sand? What do you do then?
Chug it all right in front of him.
The correct answer is you use the Go Pong hidden lotion flask to sneak alcohol onto the beach.
Hell yeah.
Goddamn right you do.
Damn right.
So-
America.
They come in. They come in aloe essence. They come in skin enriching moisturizer and nourishing face lotion
This is
bottles.
fucking brilliant.
Right.
I'm just imagining somebody at the beach with one of these that's just like, they pull the wrong bottle and just start chugging sunscreen.
Right.
Or they get so drunk that they just start looking for more bottles.
I got these guys doing it too. Oh god. But no, why can't they make sunscreen that's alcoholic? Like you just like put it on.
the 2-in-1.
Yeah.
It seems like that's terrible. It's
Yeah,
not
it seems
weird.
like that's a bad idea.
Yeah, Twisty Top Hatter says it's not weird at all, officer. Lotion tastes amazing. These are only $8, and yeah,
I kind of want some.
they're 4 fluid ounces. So these, I mean, I am definitely not suggesting anything, but these would be allowed to be packed onto a plane, not in a carry-on, but you can pack these. Yeah.
Interesting.
30 proof SPF. Excellent.
I just want to say, if somebody
That's
sees you
clever.
open that on an airplane and start drinking it, you might get tackled by a fucking sky sheriff.
All right. Yeah, it's true. All right. So, Jason,
Dude.
what do we do about a dry wedding? Those exist. How are you going to handle that
Oh,
shit?
Come with my own alcohol stuffed cake.
Well, a little easier. You could just have Twisty Top Hatter wear this women's flask bangle, which is literally the most gaudy thing I've ever seen. Also, that's a man's hand.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Oh, but no, if you wore that with a suit, you could pretend to be secret agents and like put your hand up here and then just start chugging. Like the package is secure. Glug, 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 glug.
I love that it comes in tungsten, just in case.
Right, exactly. But this is the women's flask bangle, Agu new fashion booze bracelet, festival party liquor wine, high alcohol, stainless steel wine bangle, great for party outdoors gift, silver.
Agu.
Agu. But yeah, so they've got all sorts of different fucking colors in case you need to look absolutely terrible in all sorts of colors.
Hey, nice.
But
They are really ugly.
right, why is it on this hairy ass man hand? Right, like you're supposed to try to sell this as a bangle, and as far as I know, I mean, it could be a culture somewhere. I mean, that's possible, but I don't know any dudes who wear giant bangles.
I mean, you might now.
Yeah, maybe. George Ambush, welcome to the to the Illuminati, taking over the world one follow at a time. So that after this one, we're gonna move on to Travis. Do you feel like getting your color on?
Yeah.
Dude, I've got just the thing for that.
Yeah. That was the best answer.
This is the go fuck yourself, I'm coloring book.
Amazing.
I'm
And
about it.
everything in here is different swear word coloring books.
I gotta look at this one.
Yeah,
That's fantastic.
it's only $5.99 in paperback, and it has these fucking awesome little fucking middle finger characters on the front of it. But it has 26 delectable coloring pages, single-sided pages at
Slut.
Right.
Slut.
Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. There's seriously,
Seriously,
bitch.
bitch.
Get the hell out, slut.
Oh, look at the there's customer pictures that are pretty good.
Oh,
This
fantastic.
one's eat a goddamn bag of dicks, and it has a big old owl. I like it.
That's pretty amazing.
Douchebag.
Click
Eat a
on the see
goddamn
all.
bag of dicks.
I
That's
think it's
with that owl. That's awesome. And
I
then
like that one.
Eat
yeah.
my ass like a cupcake.
Wow.
uh,
The seriously bitch one. Oh my god.
right,
Oh my
exactly.
god, those are great.
All right. So back to Tom.
Oh
Tom,
dear.
do you have a hat nearby in case of emergencies?
I do not.
Okay.
I
Well,
very infrequently wear hats.
Jason, do you have a hat nearby in case of emergencies?
At all times.
Is your hat Jossum?
Got a hat.
Yes.
Because now it can be.
What?
with the elope light up anglerfish Jossum hat.
That's actually kind of tight.
The
Right?
fucking coolest.
I need some of those for B&B.
Yeah,
The
that's
fact that it lights up.
Right?
that'd be so sick for a mutant character in a LARP.
Right,
Be an
exactly.
anglerfish mutant.
This lady did not want to wear this for this fucking picture.
Yeah,
I know she did not.
But also, apparently, you get like a weird fucking scary mask thing for it, which is awesome, right?
yeah, dude. This thing's pretty cool, actually. I like the
Yeah.
angler.
Yeah.
I saw this and I was all like, "That's actually super clever." I thought this was.
Everybody's
clever.
like, "What?"
Exactly. Used to attract mates to become testicles. Damn it!
Hey, you want to be my balls?
Exactly. For those of you who don't know, anglerfish have the most fucked up mating ritual in the history of all of evolution. So,
Can
yeah.
I explain it?
I mean, I guess.
The daddy anglerfish bites on to the mommy anglerfish and lives there for the rest of his life, and it's
Oh,
just
man.
like a tumor. And he's just huge.
But his testicles are remain exposed as he fuses into the rest of the fish.
Yep.
And-
What?
And if I
Yeah.
recall correctly, the male anglerfish is dead, and most of its organs get liquefied.
Really?
Yeah, they phase into the female fish, and then the female fish will with multiple partners form tons of balls all over itself, and then fertilize its own eggs.
Yep.
Yep. Anyway, so at this
God.
point, this is where I got off on a little bit of a tangent on Amazon today.
Yes.
So first I found this thing called CJ Butter Spritz Monkey Farts,
Wing.
right? So I was like, what is this? And I started laughing as I read the description here of 100% natural, deep healing moisturization, liquid formula rash treatment, beneficial for skin and hair, monkey farts.
Monkey farts.
And I was like, what the fuck? So I had to find out what the hell it meant by monkey farts, right? So this is only $12, and apparently it's
you did not get this shit.
it's for butt rash, right? Like, this is what I found out it's for, right?
That's
So-
what monkey farts is?
No, that's what this product is for. This has
Oh,
no
I got
answers. No answers on my monkey farts journey, right?
Okay.
So then I
Yeah.
started searching for monkey farts. Rip Amazon viewing history. That's when I came
Yeah.
across EBM Creations all natural soy wax melts monkey farts. So I have one of these soy wax machines in my house, right? And it just melts these and it makes your house smell awesome. But I'm concerned on how it's going to make my house smell like monkey farts, right? There was no answers here
It's
either.
banana.
Right? It turns out it's kind of banana.
Ah.
So our melts scented with maximum fragrance, blah 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 blah. It doesn't really give much of an info here, right?
Yeah.
So we moved on from monkey farts, 1, monkey farts 2 to the next monkey farts thing, which this right here is literally concentrated monkey farts. This is monkey farts premium fragrance oil, scented oil, 10 milliliters. And this is where I finally got my answer, and it took a long time. A fruity pear, banana type with top type with top notes of peach, apple, grapefruit, orange, banana, middle notes of violet lily of the valley, coconut, plum, cyclamen, and a woody, musky heliotrope, tonka bean, and sugary nonsense. Angry Cicada
the
says,
fuck?
apparently we've had this in my house. I only remember Buck Naked. Right? Buck Naked was a great smell. So this is fucking, so if you need whatever, you can get liquid monkey farts. Which also
That
would
is a
be
fucking
something,
odd turn of phrase.
right, which would be an amazing thing to just anonymously ship to people. Right?
Yeah.
It really would be.
Right. And then
Here's some monkey farts. Melt it.
right, exactly. And that's where I found House of Candles Monkey Farts Air Room Freshener Deodorizer extra strong monkey farts, right?
No, I think my favorite part is that they're cruelty-free monkey farts.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's actually fucking fantastic.
Right. This is
Free trade.
Right, exactly. For fucking free trade.
Oh my god.
Super strong, highly concentrated monkey fart flavor. But this one says that it's a fruity fun fragrance that erupts with scents likened to bubble gum melted with fresh strawberries, grapefruits, and bananas. But all right, I'm gonna have to call it conflict farts is something you definitely should have said out loud. So.
I like that.
I really want to smell monkey farts.
Yeah, exactly. I was saying that whole thing in my head, and I was all like, tonight on the show, I'm going to have to say I want to know what monkey farts smell like.
Yeah, I do. Like bananas. I love
I'm
bananas.
just gonna have to for the show.
Exactly. All right, so that is all the content that I brought tonight.
Uh-oh.
Us two.
Travis, it's time. You were
All
going
right.
to be telling us a little bit about ancient Arctic civilizations?
Well, not Arctic. No,
Okay.
there's some evidence of Arctic civilizations, but mainly pre-Ice Age civilizations that were existing at the levels of the lowered sea level.
Okay.
Can you start with image number 1?
Did you send me stuff?
Yeah.
Where?
See, lots of. It's in Discord.
Oh, shit. All right. Hold on. Let me prepare that real quick.
It's okay. Basically, image
technical
1 is just
difficulties.
gonna. It's okay. I can feel. So image 1 is basically just going to be a like timeline that's going to show what modern archaeology accepts as the timeline for our past. It's going to show where like the temple started, agriculture started, all that, and then it's going to show the expanded timeline of back in time, 100,000 years, all the way back to like the early mankind. Here's our image.
Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, on this you can see the global climate temperatures, which is those mark the ice ages basically, or the ends of the ice age. In image number 2, I think it is actually, you'll be able to see. Yes, these are the global sea levels, and those coincide with the meltwater pulses. And a meltwater pulse is basically when there's like a ton of water coming from a glacier into the ocean, and it reacts with the rising sea level. So in this, you can see those like.
Oh,
Wait, where do the big rocks fall into the water to raise the sea level?
did he freeze?
Oh shit.
Man.
They
Lots
caught, dude, they came for him.
Oh no! It's Chia.
Not covering how the ice ages happened and how and why those levels changed, because it's huge speculate. We could do a whole talk on what the different things are that could have caused the end of the ice ages, right?
Right.
I'm mainlining this, right? So yeah, we have meltwater pulses. I want to thank NASA. First of all, the first image I want to thank skepticscience.com for. They got that first infograph. The second one here, this is from nasa.gov. Actually, they had like a whole big article on like the changes in ocean levels over the past and where their projected ocean levels are for the next 100 years. All right. So can I see image number 3, please? All right, so this is just Florida, but it's a really it's a good explanation picture because it shows in blue where the old ocean level would have been. I believe that one says 150,000 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so yeah. And then it also shows the ocean level for 3 million years ago where it would have been way higher. So we have right now still in our modern society, we have a huge concentration of our people, our life around the world on the ocean edge, right? It's within 100 miles of the coastline. We have 90% of our population. I can't find the hook on that one, the source of that statistics. I'm not stating it exactly, but we have a large number of our people around the coastline. You could imagine in a more primitive society, it would be very similar. Can I go to image number 3 real quick?
Yep.
Or the probably next image, everything it's 3.2 or 3.1. So this shows like the cradle of humanity, right? And everything in red is where there would have been land prior to 20,000 years ago, right? That's like before the last couple big ice ages.
Right.
And I just to call back to image 1 really quick. On that, I meant to note that modern man has been modern man for about, like we know, 100,000 years. We've got one that goes back 196,000 years ago. That's like there's like I can't remember her name, but it's like one skull that we know is like that's like way far back. But we know at 100,000 years ago we were man, right?
Yeah, I think we recently just found some older too.
Yeah. So like we know at least we can comfortably say in this though that we were humans 100,000 years ago, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so the last ice age, the farthest one, or there's like 4 most recent ones that were like really big if I remember right, and the last one was 20,000 years ago. And this one, the second to most recent one, was one of the big ones, but the biggest one was that 4th one back. And what it caused was a huge change in sea level, like all over the world.
Right.
I want to jump forward.
Freezing water pulls some of the ocean level out.
Yeah, there's this whole process that happens like on the glaciers that causes it to happen. That's one suggested thing. Another big one is meteor impacts that are causing like this nuclear glass that's found in like core samples all around the world. So there's like a few different theories as to how the ice age is in. Like I said, stay away from that. Can we bump forward to picture 4.1? Or no, I want to go to picture 5, please.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, so this shows some of the hidden stuff that's actually let's go to 6 real quick. I got out of my own order, but it's
That's
just
all
whatever.
good. It's all good.
Yeah,
there we go.
this
Get the whole thing on there.
The civilization called the Jomon civilization, and that exists between Japan and Taiwan. On the second image, the one that showed the second images of the ocean levels that showed the red, you could see a huge swath in there. And that's where this Jomon civilization is. And if you want to scroll in real close on a couple of those, that's like a whole conglomeration picture. But you can see like some of the there's huge monoliths that are out there that are vastly intricate that are under 100 meters of ocean water, right?
Right.
Shit.
And then the last picture that you saw, that stone circle in the water, and the more shallower ones, that's Dwarka, that's in India. And that one is like, you can see it going out into the bay from modern day Dwarka back. Like there's these crazy old stone structures and temples that are all submerged. So now now that we have this whole layout, right, I'm going to tell you why I've brought this up.
Right.
Some people take this way too fucking far, right? Like if you look into this, like I was reading one last night that was like, aliens made Atlantis and all this they tie it directly to Dwarka, and they tie it directly to Jomon, and they all like, and even they're trying to say Göbekli Tepe was made by aliens, and it's like, no.
Recently on this on this show we covered Atlantis, and I for sure brought up some crazy shit like that too. Like
yeah.
And of course I always do on purpose, make it as crazy as possible.
Right.
But
Right. So what I'm bringing up is that there's actually some real concrete evidence in this. Can we go to Göbekli Tepe really quick? It's images 4.1 through 4.4.
Yep.
So this is a top-down of Göbekli Tepe. It's currently viewed as the oldest temples in the world and one of the oldest archaeological sites. Go to 4.1, please.
This is 4.1.
So, or 4.2 then, pardon me. So it has these raised emboss etchings all around it. Just click back and forth through the Göbekli Tepe pictures really quick. There is, or go to 4.3 and 4.4, because I tried to get a couple of pictures of the different stoneworks that they have. They're all raised in brass, and what's really strange about this site is that all these were made and then buried, right? There's no like aging marks on any of it, and we carbon date everything there. I actually wrote this down. So 4 different labs have done it, and it goes from 7,500 years ago to 9,130 years ago is like their range of dates that it could be possible. Which, if we go back to image number 1, all the way back, we'll see that modern man 7,000 years ago was not supposed to be making these giant monolithic structures, right?
Right.
And we cannot date what's underwater in Jomon, and we can't date what's underwater in Dwarka, but
Yeah.
based on their legends, and that's literally all we have for the why and where these cities are, it was around that time. So yeah, this is honestly rather brief into this whole thing because I didn't want to start a whole like 2-hour-long presentation on everything, right? But
Right.
basically, there is lots of substantial evidence that supports the existence of these pre-Ice Age civilizations. And like I said, this is not even close to all of it. And it was
Well,
funny last night,
Sumerians date to like 13,000, so this is really confusing to me. We've had Sumerian text and Sumerian architecture for about 80 years now. So the fact that it's not actually up on this timeline is
that's
kinda
interesting
strange,
to
right?
me as well. That
Yeah.
well, and see that just goes. And that's another thing I wanted to bring up is how I needed to plug these two people because they're the two dudes that got me way into this whole subject. Randall Carlson and Graham Hancock, and the scientific community, the archaeological community, views them as cooks, and they all this information that they've gathered is viewed as bunk by most of the big names. But there's like tons of different professors, and there's a huge supportive following of them that is like reinforcing this.
So,
but
real
yeah,
quick,
I'm not surprised it's not
the
there.
Sumerian dates that I've got listed here that I see when I looked it up real quick is about 4,000 BC.
Interesting.
That is interesting. Let me check
Yeah.
out where I read that.
Yeah, I mean,
but I would like to say that the Sumerians, they are coming from that Dwarkan civilization. According to this new breadth of information, if you go back to image 2, no, it's 3.1, the red one, one right after that, please. In this one, you can see there on India how there's that like nook on the left-hand side. That is where the cradle of humanity is. That's like the Indus Valley civilization, if I'm not mistaken.
right. So essentially, center of the screen, very center.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I might be mistaken on that, but I do remember hearing people speaking about the Sumerians and how they have this all around the world. We have these like the spots where it goes back like that, right? And then we find there's like crazy civilizations like curled up right at that nook, right where everything gets like pushed back. That's where all the big civilizations like are starting.
You'd have natural barriers surrounding you. The weather would be nicer depending on the direction of the wind currents wherever you're at. You would have lowlands, which would be prone to flooding, which helps with agriculture. You'd have, if there were warring tribes, they've got to travel over bullshit and can only attack you from 2 directions if you've got your back to a wall, right? So,
Yeah.
there's lots of random reasons why that would totally work.
Yeah. Exactly.
I've
You
also,
were right by that, by the way.
Okay.
that's yeah.
Experience.
I
Yeah.
wanted to point out something because it was really funny and I don't want to lose it. X-Flight said that these were early cat memes.
Oh, I want to bring up something about Göbekli Tepe too.
Amazing.
I couldn't show the pictures. I intentionally did not gather them, but there are so many penis carvings. Okay,
It's a 10,000-year conspiracy to get Skeptalk banned.
Yeah, exactly. So this is actual
many.
right. This is the real ancient internet right here. So
Yeah,
it's nothing but dicks and
So-
cat pics, dude. Like,
So the guys that write about this stuff, and are they the archaeologists who find it? Are they the interpreters? Like, why are they shunned by academics, and why are they pretty much seen as kooks?
He says, according to him, it's because they have been teaching one way for so long, they're scared to move out of their accepted ways. That kind of makes sense to me, but at the same time, like, it isn't like the field of science all based around like finding new things and being like, well, this actually breaks everything we've known.
but
It changes
and-
constantly.
but it's definitely
I
one
did-
of those things that you have to take with a grain of salt because that is what you would say if you were wrong. right?
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
afraid
It's like-
of my answers, right? But I mean, like I said,
We didn't know about dinosaurs till the 40s, right? So it's like
I saw a
I don't
shower
think it's
thought.
been that long.
I saw a
Yeah,
shower
yeah.
thought the other
Yeah.
day, right? The first dinosaur bones were, discovered well into America's history. So George Washington
Yeah.
died not knowing dinosaurs existed.
Yeah,
Whoa.
and they weren't confirmed dinosaurs though till the 40s. We didn't have the ability to test or whatever.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That's very interesting.
According to PBS.
So, I was reading. I did the diligent research as to look into who is countering his opinions and who is like discrediting them. And I read the dude's full article, and basically his opinion was based on like, well, these pre-ice age theorists are basing X on Y, and Y only exists because Z, and Z only exists because they insist it exists, right?
Okay.
And then Z is also something
That's
that we
pretty
don't
fair.
really know exactly how it happened. Even modern archaeology doesn't really know like what was happening at the last ice age, right? But they're like assuming, like we know that there was a civilization, or that there was smart people back then, and therefore we know that they had to have some kind of society. Like, and another thing, back when I said I emphasized 100,000 years is what man has been, right? We have the past 2,000,
Right.
right? And so we have done so much in 2,000 years, right? And so you have to think like there could have been at least something up to what would have been 1,000 years ago in these, earlier times. That's my like. If I want to like, I tried to stay with my own opinion on this, but like my opinion, there was probably something. Was it Atlantis? No fucking way. Those people are crazy.
I do want to say that this was really well put together, and definitely while it is a wild theory, right? Everybody agrees it's a little bit of we can't prove it, and especially not on a talk show on Twitch, right? But
peer-reviewed talk show on Twitch,
right? Exactly. This definitely is interesting enough that I'm going to look into some of this for my own personal thought, right? So you did not come off sounding like a crazy kook, in case you were worried about it.
Yeah.
So
I was kind of hoping to sound a little bit crazy, honestly.
well, I'm not saying
You're definitely a little crazy.
because
Don't worry about that, dude.
Lord
There's
Trump is
plenty
very
not to
welcome
go
to
around
the
on
stream.
this show.
Unfortunately,
There was
you caught us just at the exact end of the show. We are 1 minute from the we've gone over by half an hour time stop,
I
right?
think my wife would
Oh,
probably
yeah.
stab me if I stick around too much longer.
But yeah,
And she just said,
right.
No, props on that. That was good.
I got one for my next one. I want to cover Egypt
Excellent.
Cool.
and the old
Dig.
history of Egypt and how it was a green, fertile utopia before the last ice age, and then the shift in the climate from the last ice age shifted it from that huge superpower to the like piddly fuck new empires. It's called, what's it called, the dynasty or whatever. There's two parts of Egypt.
Right.
But yeah, Egypt next.
cool.
Nice.
Egypt's next generation.
Nice.
Right.
Fair
Okay.
card.
So for raids today, looks like I know that Dobby is doing a theory on Tolkien tonight, in case anybody's
Oh,
interested.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
We could
That
definitely
sounds
go.
awesome.
We could go raid that, and I'm pretty interested
Yeah.
in that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right, guys.
Do it.
So we're gonna head over there now. Let me get it in here. DOBBY 666. I always forget the fact that she has 666 at the end of her name. So I'm like, yeah. Okay. Well, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. It was an excellent episode. Tom, thanks for joining us. Travis, thanks for joining
Hell
us.
yeah.
Jason, welcome
Yeah.
back. I know that
Thanks,
you're going to
man.
have a little bit of still a little bit of a shaky schedule on its way here. Also, everybody in the chat, thanks for joining us. It's been a fantastic night. Our chat is always the best chat in talk shows. I visit a lot of talk
Straight up.
shows, and they're all just fucking shit goblins in comparison to you guys. So, woo! All right, we are officially rated. I'm going to hit the stop streaming button.